shall we do with the drunken sailor?
What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
What shall we do with the drunken sailor?
Early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning.
Oh well, put him in the bed with the captain's daughter.
Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter.
Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Early in the
Hey ho!
morning.
Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh well, have you ever seen the captain's daughter?
Have you ever seen the captain's daughter?
Have you ever seen the captain's daughter? Early in the morning.
Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning.
Wake him!
Take it!
Wet him all over! Wake him!
Take it!
Wet him all over! Wake him!
Take it!
Wet him all over early in the morning!
Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises.
Way, hey, up she rises early in the morning.
Wake him!
Take it!
That's what we do.
Wake him!
Shake him.
Wake him!
Shake him. Early in the morning.
Oh well, that's what I do with a drunken sailor.
That's what we do with the drunken sailor. That's what we do with the drunken sailor. Early in the morning.
Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning.
Hey ho!
Let's go!
Hey ho!
Let's go!
Hey ho!
Let's go.
Hey ho!
Let's go.
Hey ho!
Let's go.
Hey ho!
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, they calls me Hanging Johnny.
Away, boys, away.
Though I never hanged nobody, so
Hang, boys, hang.
well, they says I hanged me mother
Away, boys, away.
and me sister and me brother, so
Hang, boys, hang.
then they said that I hanged me granny.
Away, boys, away.
Well, I strung her up right canny, so
Hang, boys, hang.
well, I'd like to hang our bosun.
Away, boys, away.
He's a dirty, rotten horse-son, so
Hang, boys, hang.
and I'd love to hang a copper.
Away, boys, away.
I'd give him the long dropper, so
Hang, boys, hang.
well, they says I hangs for money.
Away, boys, away.
Well, hanging ain't so funny, so
Hang, boys, hang.
with me rope, me beam, me ladder.
Away, boys, away.
Well, I'll hang yous all together, so
Hang, boys, hang.
well, we'll hang for better weather,
Away, boys, away.
and we'll haul and hang together.
Hang, boys, hang.
Oh, they calls me Hanging Johnny.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
I didn't even know we were like waiting to go live.
Well, you were terrible at looking at the clock then. I even said 5-10 minutes. I blame that completely on you.
I like all of a sudden it's like Spooter and I are about to like get into like an Alliance Horde like argument here. Then we go live.
It's not an argument. It's not even an argument. You know why? Because we're not in middle school. Okay. Doesn't matter what you play as long as you're having fun playing it.
That's
Everybody's
right.
played
Also,
both.
And it's the Horde.
Loktar
Everybody's
Gar.
played both.
If you're not Horde, you're wrong.
By the way, I apologize. I'm currently wearing my fucking jammies.
Dude, those are badass. I kind of want a pair.
They're super comfy.
Why would you have to apologize for that?
Because I forgot for a second. I'm like, I've got dressed for bed, and I was like, oh crap! Good night. So yeah.
So it's been a little while since we've all been here. Let's see. Last time we did a little flashback episode, which was a lot of fun. For me, I think I traumatized everybody that played in it, and that's okay. The week before that was TwitchCon, so it's been a little bit since we've all been on the same stream together. How's everybody doing?
Doing very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I did actually a DM's roundtable show on Exploding Dice earlier today, and had a lot of fun disagreeing with Laura Lana and telling her that the way that she plays D&D is wrong.
Look.
Not really. There's not a wrong way to play D&D. Let me preface that.
Man, you get to have all the fun.
That was a little bit stressful to watch, man, because she's like, I love
God.
rules and EXP and counting ammo, and I'm like, I hate that shit.
She like legitimately stressed me out writing in her player's handbook and like turning the spine all the way backwards, like oh, it's hard to watch. But you know, whatever. It was a fun time, and like
you're like giving me a reaction now just hearing that.
Yeah, getting to sit and talk with DMs about D&D and the way that we play and bullshit and talk about our players is fun. So it was a good time. And I worked yesterday, so that sucked. But you know,
what were you doing at work on a Saturday? What the hell?
Shit has to get done. There's a deadline. It was it's just a thing.
Word.
It won't be. Luckily, it's not an ongoing, constant thing. It's just a shit had to get done kind of thing. But yeah, so that was my weekend. How are you guys? What did you guys get up to?
I got old.
Older.
She had an amazing birthday. I sang to her. It was awesome.
We sang to her on stream last night.
When the fuck was your birthday, and why didn't I know about this?
Yesterday.
Don't tell me shit. I see how it is. No,
There's still enough time to make up for. I mean, that doesn't sound. How are you?
HP Fox, how moving right along.
Moving along.
How are you? What did you get up to?
I'm a little chilly today because it's very cold out, which is a good thing for me anyway. I'm kind of finally coming down after like 3 or 4 weeks straight of long hours working. I haven't had a break since before TwitchCon, and now we have a breather from launch events. Granted, it's only like 2 days, but it's a breather nonetheless. So I'm taking it easy and I'm relaxing finally. Just really nice.
So since you've got some time, do you want to play another No, I'm just kidding.
Not a chance.
So I have.
He says that now.
I have vowed not to ask HP Fox to join any more games because he just doesn't say no when I do.
It's true.
So I just don't ask him anymore.
Like you invited me to play a game like over 3 years ago, and I just haven't stopped since.
It's true. Like charity events, random one-offs. He's just like, yeah, I'll play. So I've just gotten to the point where I can't ask him anymore because he already does too much. Rojan, how was your break from last week, and then what have you been up to?
No, well, last week I went to my family's house to celebrate my mom's birthday. And I'm recovering right now, as you can tell from my 24-hour stream last night.
How did that go? What did you stream for?
Extra Life.
Right on.
Fifth year in a row doing Extra Life.
If
Had
you
a
guys
lot of fun with that. And for those who tuned in at the right time, they got to hear me sing Jimmy Buffett.
Yes, that was glorious.
Was that clipped? Because I'm sad I missed it.
It was
too long for
It
a
was
clip.
it was probably grabbed from the VOD already. Spiffy probably has it because he wants to turn that into the new boat drinks meme for the channel.
If you haven't made it into an actual highlight yet, you should go back and do that.
Yeah, when I'm functional, I'll do that.
Make me editor. I'll do it.
See, that's why I have this, is because I need to function today, at least for a couple hours.
Good.
So, with that being said, who wants to do not a rundown of last week? Because that was kind of a flashback, and if you guys missed it, then you'll get bits and pieces.
I
but-
remember last week.
3 weeks ago, or whenever the last actual session was.
The week before last.
Last week.
Yeah, last week.
Sure.
I
I
can
remember-
do a rundown. Can I do a rundown?
Go for
He's
it.
never done a rundown. Do it.
Okay, so this is where we're at right now. Okay, we're in this pit because Fives got blamed for something he did not do. He did not steal from the place, but the super racist shopkeeper was like, he's going to the pit. So then he goes to the pit, and then Lexus went to the pit with him because Lexus is like stalwart to shit. So we're in the pit, and Lexus is like, you know what? Screw your rules. I'm gonna fly. He goes in angel form. The crowd gets pissed off. Impious rolls like 2,000 D20s that kill both. We drop dead on the ground. The crowd's like, yeah, they died. And the entire time, Javaria and Crest are outside, like holding Wakanga.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're holding him at like crossbow point. I mean, like, hey, you need to give us the fucking rope or something to let us get in there. But it was miscommunication because they thought it was 50 feet deep. It's only 15. So they kind of let us die. And then they jumped into the pit, and then Crest, because he's a medical dude, resuscitated us. And then him and Javaria beat up a bunch of jaguars and raptors. And then I don't know, we hear this giant roar, and what's left of the little critters leave. And there's a giant stegosaurus directly in front of us. And now we're getting ready to deal with that. And the goal is get to the end of the pit, not necessarily kill the stegosaurus, just get to the end of the pit. Then I'm innocent. Then I am innocent. The plucky young burb that did nothing wrong, just a victim of racism. So, yes, that is where we are at right now.
Yeah, that's a really good summary. Actually, I don't think I have any other questions about what happened other than you guys are in a giant hole with a very angry dinosaur. So we'll just jump right into that very angry hole with the dinosaur as soon as I remember to put on the right screen over here, because I had it on the other screen, and there we go. Now we're on the right screen.
There, right? Okay, I'm not the only one that still sees like all them 20s up there.
No, I was testing something earlier. You can ignore all those 20s.
Okay, I was like, that's a lot.
completely
Like,
okay.
Never ignore it when he says he's testing something.
You're like, please no.
I don't know why he has to roll 20d20.
Because it's easy to type.
They're gonna throw rocks at us again, dude. Oh no.
He's gonna meme kill us.
Really, because it was easy to type. That's why 20d20 is like my go-to, because I know that like if I'm sizing up the green screen area on OBS, at least a lot of those should be in the area somewhere. So that's why I just rolled 20d20s.
I would pay good money to watch a standing ovulation. Just saying.
No, you gotta lay down for that. It hurts.
Anyway, so you guys are in a pit with a stegosaurus, and go ahead and roll me initiatives.
Okay.
That bingo. Wait, hold on. I gotta click myself, don't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eh.
Be sure to click yourself.
Oh no. Why?
are you,
Why so tiny?
Should be at the top of your sheet.
Every time. Inspiration, no. There it is.
Cool.
Damn.
Descending order. All right. So it is Lexus up first. You guys are standing in the pit. The crowd, now that you've kind of stood up to face the stegosaurus, or the panthers and the raptors, and now that the stegosaurus has come running in, is cheering and yelling, and just, you're not sure if they're cheering for the dinosaur, they're just cheering to cheer, if they're cheering for you. And it's kind of hard to hear over all of this, but you can see this the Stegosaurus standing in front of you, kind of half turned, and you can see the breath just kind of rolling out of his nostrils every time that he breathes, looking down on the four of you.
God, I hate this dinosaur.
Hasn't even done anything yet. Why do you hate him?
He's
I just
gonna
don't like
do
this
things,
place.
and I don't like it.
I want like this entire island to sink back into the ocean.
Damn.
And if I get my way, at some point, that's gonna happen.
God, brutal.
All right. Well, since Lexus right now is kind of banged up, first thing I'm going to do is heal myself for 9.
Okay.
Gives me a little more HP. Now the rules say that we have to get to the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Impious, how far are, because it's a trench. It's
It
not
is.
just it's like a trench. How far are we? Like, give me like a ballpark third of the way there, a fifth of the way there.
So if you zoom out and see the whole thing on the red line on the screen, that's
yeah, it
half
doesn't-
the trench.
Okay, because there's no end to the
Right. So essentially what I'm going to have you do is go down to the end and then turn around and go back the other way. And we'll just do it that way. Because only half of it fit on the screen. So
Gotcha. Oofta.
Couldn't you've made it vertically?
We're literally like
there's not much more space vertically. I could have made the page bigger, but I didn't think about it. But it's
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's get this fancy ruler here.
yeah, we got about like 120 feet to go, dude.
all in total it's 200 feet from one end to the other.
Deep breath.
Well, Lexus really can't leave other people to die, so he's gonna go right here and just start banging on the shield with the mace, letting everyone else get around the dinosaur.
Okay.
This man is a martyr.
Trying to figure out the best way to do this. See if you get the dinosaur's attention. Give me a. You're trying to get its attention. Let's call it a charisma check. That makes sense.
Can I make it animal handling? That is a charisma base.
Yeah, we can do animal handling. That's fine.
Oh, baby.
All right, and
I am proficient.
You
at
are
that.
proficient. All right, so it definitely head turns your direction, and you can see the eyes just kind of lock onto the shield and the light that's glinting off of it as you're like beating on it with the hammer. So you definitely have its attention. But it's one of those things like waving a flag in front of a bull. Now that you have its attention, it's only a very specific kind of attention that it's going to give you. And that is the kind where it kind of rears back on its hind legs and like spins its body, whipping this barbed tail in your direction.
That ain't gonna
8
hit.
Does not hit your AC though, I'm sure.
Oh.
So you duck and like and kind of duck back behind your shield, and the tail bounces off of it as the dinosaur continues to kind of spin. All right, and what's Fives doing?
Spin to win. Fives is going to.
Run, damn it!
I am going to. At this point, Fives has kind of just had enough for the most part. And typically, he would see this as being very, very bad and just kind of like run the hell away. But knowing full well he cannot scrabble up the sides and that he's just going to get pelted with more rocks. So I would like to try to jump on the back, like on the neck part. And I would like to just position myself on the neck of the Stegosaurus.
Okay, just kind of between where the fins on the back and the fins on the neck start?
Yes.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics or athletics check.
I'll go with acrobatics, and I am proficient in it, and I'm going to do that. Motherfucker, give me that
Good
20,
thing
though.
you're proficient.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're proficient in it. Yeah, so you jump on this thing's neck and you kind of wrap your arms around the first fin in front of you, and begin to hold on. Let me see if I can layer.
You can send the dinosaur to the back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I just dragged my dude on top of it, so I didn't know if that.
Yeah, I got
was
you.
Working.
You're good.
Oh.
As you are like clutching onto this thing, holding on for dear life as it spins and bucks.
And I'm going to punch the shit out of it. I'm gonna like donkey punch it straight away. Just
Okay.
start going for the soft part, right in the back of the skull, right there where the little meat, where the meat is.
All right, so if it's a called shot, you get a disadvantage on it. But
Okay.
that's fine if you want to do it that way, or if you want to just take a general hit, you can do that too.
No, I'm going the called shot. Back of the dome. I want to rattle the peanut.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna ba-bam.
16 will hit its AC.
Mother.
So go ahead and roll me damage for it.
Boop. Hello?
That thing bounced all over the place.
Yeah, the dice was everywhere.
A 5. All right. So you take a punch to this thing's the back of its head, and it kind of makes this weird, not really a growl, but more of a scream that just kind of echoes off the walls of the pit, and bouncing around, kind of driving itself into your skull as this punch connects. You have another one with.
I get another one of those. I guess it's because the first called shot connects. Do I still get disadvantage?
No.
Okay.
Unless you're calling the second one too.
No, I'm not calling the second one. I'm just beating on the same spot.
That'll
I'm
hit.
beating on.
All right, go ahead and yeah, even if that had been a disadvantage, it still would have hit, so you're fine.
Work.
All right, and so it lets out another one of those kind of screeches that bounce around and echo, driving the sound just kind of into your head and past your ears. That kind of bores into your mind. Crest, what are you doing?
Forget that sound.
So I don't think we're going to have much trouble with this guy, actually. So I'm going to move down there and over here.
Okay.
And given that I can see probably that we're like not even halfway across this thing, I'm going to expect more trouble. So I'm going to prepare by throwing up my mage armor.
All right. And Javaria.
I am going to use my sling, and I am going to aim for its face, just general area of the face, and try not to hit Fives.
Please don't.
Yeah, please don't hit me or Fives.
No one, please. Oh God!
Close.
Oh.
All right.
Did it hit?
You do it. Actually, she's got disadvantage because she's within that 30 feet. So the 7.
Did it go?
So the rock comes flying out of the sling and bounces off one of the fins harmlessly. And you can see Fives like duck his head for a minute, and look at Javaria where that rock kind of came from.
Excuse me, I'm sitting here.
All right, Lexus.
Back to me.
Can I yell from the top of the thing and say, blind it?
Sure.
Blind it?
Let's see. Do I have anything that does that?
Mm-hmm. Use pocket sand. I don't care.
I just suddenly hear Five screaming, "Blinded by the light."
I don't have anything to blind it. So, is it now facing me?
It is.
Okay, so I'm going. I'm just gonna go for a overhead swing to like the face region. I don't care where I hit. Just
Okay.
this is the only way I can think of quote unquote blinding it.
Good call. Aim for the peanut. Always aim for the peanut.
That'll hit. Is this one-handed or
It's
two-handed?
One-handed, so 9 damage.
All right.
Tiny little peanut.
Let's see. Randomly pick somebody that's not HB Fox. Max, give me a D20 roll real quick, please. Just a regular D20.
Is this the beginning of the end for Javaria?
Okay.
Javaria is pelted with 7 rocks.
Nope. It's just a thing to see if a thing happened. It's fine. All right, so the Stegosaurus here is going to buck, and basically going to like throw itself to the ground, trying to roll and get fives off of it. So it's essentially trying to crush fives at this point.
But it can't roll. It's got like stabilizers.
It's trying.
It's fucking stupid.
Actually,
Stupid
yeah.
Animal.
They're actually not fused to the spine. It can roll.
You're not helping.
I was a dinosaur geek. Leave me alone.
Yeah. How rigid are those mags? Since you actually know, because that's a good point I didn't think about. If they're flexible though, then I'm okay.
There's
with
enough give that they're not gonna just rip right out, but it can roll, not like over like a puppy dog, but it can roll without damaging its spine.
Okay. Sounds like it's probably not something it intuitively does. I think what it's going to try to do is use that tail to whip at fives. It just does not like the fact that there's somebody riding it.
Please watch it hit
It
itself.
lands a 1 and impales its freaking skull with its own tail.
It does not.
Hashtag whoops.
But it doesn't have advantage either, so it's going to miss. All right, fives.
Swing and a miss. Me?
Jeez, that
Yep.
20 damage though.
Yep. Good thing it missed.
And I nerfed its damage a little bit, by the way.
All right. Give me a
Because
second.
we're not supposed to fight it.
Maybe it's a baby.
It's only a CR4. You're fine.
It's
Oh,
a baby.
only. Well, we're level
You're all
3s.
level
it
3s.
works. Yeah, I forget we're level 3s. It works.
All we gotta do is spank it. It's fine.
Okay. I am going to use. No, I'm not going to use that. Wait, yes, I am going to use that. I'm going to use a flurry of blows. Right. On the back of its head, because that's where it's like right there. It's like
All right.
right there. It's gonna brah, just like that, right? Oh god, no, wrong button. And I'm gonna use my open hand technique, which means it needs to make a dex save or it's going to be knocked prone on its belly, just like flat.
Okay.
All right, so first things first, big money, no whammies.
Let's see. Do you have advantage on that? No. Okay, so that'll miss.
I would imagine I have advantage. I'm kind of like straddling the motherfucker, but okay. All right. Thanks.
It's also like bucking and trying to throw you off.
Okay, so that doesn't connect.
No, that'll miss.
Boo! Mudda, 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 mudda. Yes, Rojan, exactly what I was thinking. Sorry. All right. Well, there goes my. I have no more key.
Okay.
But, so I'm like trying to punch it and missing because it's
Just
2 feet away from me. So
well, it's throwing you, and you end up more focused on trying to stay on and not fall off of this thing than your punch is actually connecting as it tries to throw you.
fair enough.
All right, Crest.
So I think the first thing I'm gonna do, get those lovely bone talons again.
Okay.
I don't really want to get up behind it because that tail is dangerous, but
That's
at the
not-
same time, I want to give Lex that sweet, sweet flank advantage.
All right.
So that's all I can do.
Apparently, Crest has never raided before.
Watch the tail.
By the back legs, not the tail.
Exactly.
It's just like
Devaria.
a jump rope.
Okay, so just perception-wise, is this thing wearing a nose ring? Because I know, like, bulls in like matador bulls and everything, they usually, if they've got to get it under control for whatever reason, like handler-wise, there's usually a nose ring.
Mm-hmm.
No, it does not.
Damn, because I was gonna grab it. Okay, well, I'm gonna make one. I don't have a dagger. That's okay. I've got claws. I
What
am
weapons do you have? You have the staff.
quarterstaff, a whip, and a whip. Ooh. I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna make it remember. It's training. I have no idea how to train this thing, but I'm gonna make it think it does. So I'm just going to also politely kind of sidestep over here so Lexus is not in the firing range. Is that close enough to use a whip?
Yeah, you're within 10 feet, I think.
Okay. I
fine.
am okay. I'm
Oh yeah, you are for sure.
gonna whip it good,
Dun, 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 dun.
or not.
Or not. So you pull the whip out and you try to toss it, and you toss it, but like it doesn't crack. You're like, I've forgotten how to use this thing. You've gotten so
At least
used
I
to
didn't
using your
roll
quarterstaff that it's taking you a moment to remember how to actually use the whip properly.
Either that or wait, I'm holding a big string. BRB.
I don't think she knows how to use her quarterstaff either.
Let's see. I had Mags do it last time. Spooner, give me a d20.
Give me a D20, yes sir. D20. I'm just gonna roll a doop. Bump.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
God.
All right.
It suddenly starts brown noting all over the place. So tell me, no.
So
it's kind of like
the you notice, and you're getting caught up in the fight, but the entire party notices that the cheering that was deafening and almost distracting moments ago has stopped, and you hear screams coming up from the land above you.
good.
What kind of screams are these?
Screams of panic and terror.
Oh, great.
Why can't anything ever be simple with you?
Because that's easy. and
Because
not
you
fun.
rolled for it.
Everybody roll me perception real quick.
Okay. Ba-ba. Ba-ba. And I
Foxy
have
bag, everything.
reference, whatever it's called.
Proficient. Okay.
That.
Is anybody else proficient with perception?
Nope.
Wouldn't matter if I was anyway.
So Mags, you could see, just kind of, you turn your head and you get a glance over the lip of the pit, and you can see that there's a bunch of guards with their backs to the pit and off to the side, but it looks like they're fighting off a wave of undead, namely zombies that have worked their way into the crowd.
Good. Screw them.
That's when I just casually shout over my shoulder while they're dealing with the Derposaurus Rex right there. Guys, I think we have bigger fish to fry.
It's probably a regular thing in this town. Probably something to worry about.
All right, what's Lexus doing?
So Javaria has pointed this out.
Yes.
Crap.
But I'm flipping the bird at the crowd.
Don't flip, you might throw out your back.
All right, I still got the angel wings.
Wait, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't do it, you'll get stoned.
And not
I think they're too busy trying to run away from the undead things that are trying to kill them.
I mean, you know.
Do I stick with the group or do I go help the guards?
Only you can answer that, Chief.
Only you can prevent guard massacre.
May I remind you, the guards were complete dicks.
True. Very
I know, but I kind of have a sworn duty to fight the undead.
On the bottom of the screen, it says Fives will remember that.
Ow, my head. Ow.
Sorry.
All right, Lexus is gonna grit his teeth and take another swing at the dinosaur, while calling out to everyone else. We need to dispatch this thing as fast as possible. We have undead in the stands.
All right. That'll hit. Or, excuse me, no, it won't. I lied.
I was gonna say, damn. That crappy armor class, though.
I lied. That does not hit.
PK lol.
Not even with advantage, it wouldn't hit.
Nope.
From the back of the dinosaur, I yell back at Lex, "Let the cows deal with it."
The cows?
Yeah, remember the guy had those 2 big ass minotaurs?
Oh,
Is Lexus making any movement, or is he staying there?
nope, stay in there.
Okay. So Stegosaurus is still kind of whipping around, and with the presence of the undead, he frenzies a little bit more and like is trying to not only get away from you guys, but the undead as well. So he turns and puts his back to Lexus, his tail swinging towards Lexus's head.
That ain't gonna hit me.
16 doesn't hit? Okay.
16 don't hit.
So the tail bounces off of Lexus's shield as it begins to charge forward, and I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. Crest, give me an acrobatics save, or an acrobatics roll.
Don't get trampled, dude.
I make no
I think a
promises.
15 will work. So Crest dives out of the way, and Lexus is going to get an attack of opportunity on this thing as it begins to charge away from the zombies.
If it's showing that it's just trying to get away from the zombies, I'm not going to swing on it.
Well, it's going away from you is all you probably saw, like it kind of just begin to panic. Give me an insight roll to figure out if you can see why.
I'm gonna ride this baby to the finish line.
I have advantage as
You have
well.
advantage? Okay, so
I'm
you
proficient.
get the feeling that it's not comfortable with the zombies being up there at the edge of the pit, and that's the reason that it's taking off.
So I'm not going to swing on it then.
Okay. Fives, give me a strength check to hang on to this thing as it takes off.
Can I choose to? No, fuck it.
No, ask.
I kind of want to try to jump off of it.
Sure.
Knowing that it's taking me away from the party, and you never let them take you to a second location.
Sure.
All right. So you want acrobatics to jump off? Or can I just, like,
yeah,
it's running-
acrobatics will work.
All right. Please don't botch.
I'll catch you.
All right. So you tuck and roll as you jump off, and it takes a roll in the dirt for a moment, but you do eventually get to the point where you are clear as this thing begins to take off towards the other end of the gulch.
Thank you, Manda. I will choose my words more carefully next time in the future. I'm not saying that that's not an option. The whole, that's still an option.
Fives. What are you doing?
Well, let me think here. Why'd you roll? Oh, okay. All right.
Reasons.
Let me see, how far is this? Oh, no, that's way too damn far. All right. At this point, I believe I'm just going to close up ranks. Noticing the zombies and the dinosaurs buggered off. What happened to the other ones that were down on that corner? Did they just...
They've buggered off.
Okay. So I'm going to close ranks and move over here next to Lex and Javaria. I guess. Yeah, right about there.
All right. Are you taking any actions, or are you just moving?
Yeah, I'm just moving here. There really isn't much that I can do at this point. I mean, I see the zombies at the lip. They haven't entered yet, I imagine.
Yeah. They're still dealing with the guards who are trying to control the crowds and get the crowds out of the area safely.
Okay. At that point, I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of confused as to which is going to be the bigger threat: the scared, rampaging animal, or the zombies that will eventually overwhelm the guards because guards are dicks. And so I'm just standing there.
Okay. And you're right. About that time, the guards look around and see that most of the spectators have gotten clear. And so he kind of pushes back from the zombies that have been pressing him towards the edge of the cliff or the pit, and kind of turns out of the way, letting the first zombie kind of spill into the area. 2, 3. All right. So that'll be that one. And what is Crest doing?
First thing I'm going to do is move right here because fuck the zombies. They all tried to gang up on me last time.
Okay.
Way
back there.
Oh, wow, you're way out there.
Yeah. And then that one that dropped into the pit there, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay, it's 120 feet. Okay, it was
Not
chill
roll the
touch. I was
spell
like, you're not in touch range, but it's a cast. It's got a cast range. So.
And it did not roll the actual
It did
spells
not.
on these sheets, man.
Did you roll it from the attack area?
It's not even in the attack area.
Weird. Look at your
Like
sheet.
rolling it directly from the codex or whatever.
Yes.
The codex.
Let's see.
Yeah. Like if it's in the spells, it should be in the attacks and spellcasting as well. On the first page.
Yeah, like it should be on. If you're pulling it from your character sheet, it should roll the actual thing. If you're pulling it directly from the codex, you can do it that way, but
What is this?
it-
Chill touch?
buggy and
Yeah.
weird.
Oh wait, that's not the command name. That's the command name. All right, I'm gonna mess with your sheet and see if we can get this to work right. Hang on, just a second.
Yep.
Yay.
Plus. Let me want to take this.
So, how about that local sports team?
Oh wait, it's not gonna let me do it because yours popped out. Yep, hang on. Let me change that and fix that option real quick. Okay, let's try this. Oh. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Like 15 times. There you go. Try rolling it from that and see if that works.
All right. Fingers crossed.
Hey.
Hey.
Yahtzee.
13. Why am I not? Why is it not pulling up the? Oh, that's because I have the ruler. That's why. That'll hit.
All right. And
2 damage.
solid 2. And it also has disadvantage on attacks against me. Not that it's probably going to reach me.
Okay.
Does it take 2 or does it take 5 damage? I'm just trying to understand how it works, kind of like out of character, real quick. I'm curious about the mechanics.
So it takes 2. The 3 that was in the spell description would have been the damage had it actually rolled the ranged attack in there.
Yep.
But it cannot generate hit points, so that's good too.
Okay.
And so, describe what that spell looks like, HB Fox.
What was the description I used last time? I think it was when Crest casts it, he kind of thrusts his hand out in front of him, and from his hand comes like a blue, misty kind of skeletal hand shape that just makes a beeline for the target and just grabs right onto them and stays there.
Okay. All right, and so that'll make it Javaria's turn. What is she up to?
Okay. So, I guess the one that's furthest forward, I'm gonna go ahead and use my sling and, let's start picking these bastards off. Yeah.
That'll hit. And I think you are far enough away that you don't have disadvantage. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Huzzah.
So the rock from the sling just goes flying and clocks this thing in the head. There's a like you can just see the particular point of the rock kind of tear into the temple of this thing as the head just kind of rocks back, but it continues to kind of stumble forward. And the guards at this point have started to kind of let the zombies break as they're seeing that most of the spectators are out of the area, so they're just getting themselves out of the way now, allowing the zombies to kind of roll into the pit, and kind of looking down at you guys apologetically and shrugging their shoulders as they kind of get out of the way, allowing the zombies to kind of fall in.
It's like, well, you're kind of convicted anyway. Just consider this part of the gauntlet. # bye.
Pretty much.
#bye.
What is Lexus doing?
All right. So since Lexus is going to go up into the air and do an angel thing here. So I'm going to fly 30 feet into the air.
So 30 feet above the base of the.
No, I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly until I'm about eye level with him. So that's like what, 15 feet?
15 feet. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I should there, and then so staring at him 15 feet. All of these are now within my range. I'm going to bring forth the symbol of thunder and cry out. Flee in the light of Lathander as I use turn evil or turn undead again. So they all need to make a wisdom save. This is more out of for my own curiosity than anything, because the last time I used this, all of them burst into flames.
Yep.
So
nuclear war.
I see this as a chance to see if this always happens or if it's just a random effect of being in Cholt. And the spell save DC is a wisdom save of 12.
Okay. Roll me a D100.
Damn.
A 4.
A whole 4.
Wow.
Efficient.
What?
So you go to cast Turn Undead, and then all of a sudden the bright holy flare of light that you're expecting to rain down from the heavens doesn't. But you can see creatures running around the edges of the pit that weren't there a moment ago, and they look like they're slightly ethereal and shadowy.
Guys, we may have a problem.
What did you do?
I don't know.
What are those?
You can't see them. Only Lexus is seeing them.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
No, I call. I'm like, guys, something happened. There's shadow creatures here now. I swear, this has never happened before.
It happens to a lot of guys. Don't worry.
Oh, that's where my mind went to.
Mr. Lit, thank you for that host, sir. How's your game? How are you doing this evening? But yeah, once the creatures kind of detect that you're able to see them, you kind of see them slink off away from the edges of the pit.
What do the creatures look like aside from just like these ethereal shadows? Do they have any features to them?
They don't, other than just kind of a very shifty, almost fluid-like form. They don't seem to hold one form for too long.
Note to self: don't use turn undead. Well, that's all I can do.
Okay. All right, that'll put us back at 5s.
Woo!
Well, balls. Lex is still in the air, right?
Yep.
He is.
Not in any immediate danger?
Nope.
How confident am I that these zombies can, like, close the gap and get up on me?
It's happened before.
Yeah, but, like, do they seem like, they're in shambling range?
They're working their way there.
Okay.
You probably give them a couple more seconds before they reach you.
All right. I am going to backpedal just a little bit, and I'm going to throw some darts at this one right here. Do I have to hold it down? That one.
Okay.
All right. Where my dirt's at? Dart.
Pew, pew.
Let's see. I have a feeling the thing that I want isn't in here. It's not. Crap.
Did that hit?
Oh, sorry. I was looking for other things. It does hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Wow.
7 damage, and it was this one?
Mm-hmm. The one, nope, one
Nope.
down one.
Okay.
That one. That right there.
Sorry, I was looking to see if a thing was available. or if I'm gonna have to finagle it, and I'm gonna have to finagle it, so it's fine.
Finagling is fun.
I can do it later. All right, and so the zombies, the horde, kind of continues to push forward. There. All right, what's Crest doing?
I'm going to take one more step back. I could go the full distance, but just to save you the trouble of going back and forth on maps, I won't.
No, so literally the way we're going to do this is if you make it back to the start of the pit, that's the full length of the pit. So I just drew half, but there's no zombies at the other end, so you can avoid that. But yeah, it's just to be a pain.
Well, I'll just stay here for the time being.
Okay.
Just to make things easier. And targeting the same one that I did before. Do the same thing.
That'll hit. Go ahead and the damage. 5. Nice. 5. All right. Javaria. What are you up to?
I'm gonna try not to. Well, I didn't whiff last time. No, it's fine. Yeah, this one. I am.
Real quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one closest to me. I am going to sling him.
All right.
Sling a ding.
I don't have one of those.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Yeah. Bam.
6. All right, and another rock kind of embeds itself in its skull, and you can hear the crack as the skull begins to splinter under the rotten flesh.
Juicy.
Oh, please, I hope not. I was hoping for like dry and somewhat, mummified.
Nah, man, these are like swamp zombies, man. They're all moldy and wet.
Why is this being weird now? I don't know why this is being weird. It's not letting me move it properly. Oh, fuck it. All right, so zombies are going to continue to march forward. This one, no, you're actually in the air. Never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was gonna laugh as standing underneath me, waving its arms, trying to get me.
He might have for a moment. And that one. And this one. All right. And now we return to Lexus's turn. What is Lexus up to other than hovering superiorly over the zombies?
It's not really. It's not really like any form of like superiorness or anything. He's like, I'm questioning what exactly this island is doing to my connection with Lathander. So I'm gonna fly here and I'm gonna land in front of Fives.
Okay.
And then I am going to shoot a guiding bolt at this one.
All right.
You're back in one hot second, guys.
Time's up.
Little emergency.
Oh, okay.
So that's a botch.
Yeah, it is.
Near him, am I? Oh, fuck. Roach, no. Why you do this?
How do I deal with this?
Holy power is just not working for me tonight.
Let's see. I think that what happens is your focus is so thrown off because of the turn undead not working the way that you expected. You get halfway through. Does this have semantic components?
I'm back. I'm good.
Let me check. I don't think it does. I just think I fire a bolt of radiant light from my hand.
Okay. So your focus
just a
is
holy
so
Hadouken.
off that the bolt actually explodes just kind of inches from your hand, blinding you for your next turn.
Oh, no.
Oh, great.
You flashed yourself.
All right, Fives, what are you doing?
Secretly laughing in my mind. I what just transpired?
Lexus tried to cast a holy bolt.
No,
or a
yeah,
guiding
yeah,
bolt and got
I
blinded.
gathered as such. Again, sorry, had to.
No worries.
All right. Bollocks. You know, I'm just gonna take a run for it. At this point, it's like between the dinosaur and is the crowd still watching? Have they regathered?
No, they've fucked off. The zombies came and they all
Are the guards
ran.
watching?
No, the guards left too.
So we are alone in this pit.
You are. They saw the zombies. They handled their part of the zombies. They let the zombies filter into the pit, and then they just left because they're like, this is more pressing than watching these guys fight dinosaurs. You're not sure if other waves of that, other zombies out of that wave made it into the city or what, but you can hear kind of combat sounds still echoing, but they're distant.
I vote we leave. I'm gonna try to run and get out of this damn pit.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I can make that distance easy.
Okay.
And it's only 15 feet up. I'm
It
pretty
is.
damn sure I can make that.
Yeah, give me a acrobatics or athletics check.
Okay, let's try to get the hell out of Dodge.
That'll work.
Yep. Bye.
So you hop up onto the edge of the pit and you scramble your way up there. And as you crest the top of the pit, actually, what we'll do is we'll take our break, and then I'll tell you what you see when you crest.
Oh
the pit.
God, no!
Well, I have to go prep it, and I was going to do that. You just got out of the pit quicker than I expected.
F this, man. I'm getting the.
No, you should. You totally should. That's what I would do too. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, get up and stretch legs so that I can prep some things too. And then we'll be right back. So you folks who are watching at home, thanks so much for hanging out with us as we play some D&D. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the story. And we will be right back here momentarily. That's the wrong screen. That's the right one.
Mainmast sprung, a whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. Our stunts or bombs are carried away, what care we for that sound? A living tale is after us, thank God we're onward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. Onward bound from the Arctic round, rolling home to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're onward bound from the Arctic round, rolling home to old Maui. Whiskey's the life of man. Whiskey, Johnny, oh, whiskey's the life of man. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. I drink whiskey when I can. Whiskey, Johnny, I drink it out of an old tin can. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. Whiskey gave me a broken nose. Whiskey, Johnny. Whiskey made me pawn my toes. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. Whiskey drove me around Cape Horn. Whiskey, Johnny. It was many a month when I was gone. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. I thought I heard the old man say, Whiskey, Johnny. I'll treat my crew in a decent way. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. A glass of grog for every man. Whiskey, Johnny. And a bottle for the shanty man. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh.
How still lies the bay in the light western airs, which glow from the crimson horizon. Once more we tack home the dry empty hold, saving gas with the breezes so fair. She's a kindly Cape Islander, old but still sound, but so lost in the long line of shadow. Make and break and make do, the fish are so few. She won't be replaced should she founder. Now it's so hard to not think of before the big war, when the cod went so cheap but so plenty. Foreign trawlers go by now along sea, and eyes taking all where we seldom take any. And the young folk don't stay with the fishermen's ways. Long ago they all moved to the city, and the ones left behind, old and tired and blind, won't work for a pound, for a penny. In Make and Break Harbor, the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry, blown away, lost and forgotten. Now I can see the big draggers are stirred up the bay, leaving lobster traps smashed on the bottom. Can they think it don't pay to respect the older ways? The Make and Break men have not forgotten, for we still keep our time through the turn of the tide in this boat that I built with my father. Still lifts to the sky the one lunger and I still talk like old friends on the water. In Make and Break Harbor, the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry, are blown away, lost and forgotten. In Make and Break Harbor, the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry, are blown away, lost and forgotten.
Oh, I'd never seen the like since I've been born. Oh, a big buck man with a sea boots on. When Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Oh, wake her, oh, shake her, oh, wake that girl with the blue dress on. When Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Oh, I love a little girl across the sea. She's a big back girl, and she says to me, when Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Oh, wake her, oh, shake her, oh, wake that girl with a blue dress on. When Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Oh, was you never down in Mobile Bay? Yes, screwing cotton on a summer's day. When Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Oh, wake her, hey, oh, shake her, hey, oh, wake that girl with a blue dress on. When Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man. Oh, wake her, hey, oh, shake her, hey, oh, wake that girl with a blue dress on. When Johnny comes down to high-low, poor old man.
free, but forever live in chains. And we battle to existence on and on. We'll take whatever comes to be while keeping hopeful melody. And we'll cruise through the darkness until the warmth of dawn. So roll, roll, you bastards, you never can tell. Through water like glass, above a briny hell. So roll, oh, come give her all you can. Or the sea, she will best us. We'll never see the land. We carry on the burden and we hide our grimace well. For the day will come for us to mutiny. But as long as we survive, our hope and pride they can't deprive. And we'll carry on our melody to sing in harmony. So roll, roll, you bastards, you never can tell. Over water like glass, above a briny hell. So roll, come give her all you can. Or the sea, she will best us. We'll never see the land. So roll, roll, you bastards, you never can tell. The ocean, a tempest all under stormy hell. So roll till bloody on the hand. For the sea, she will best us. We'll never see the land. We are racked from the hardships, exhausted by the years. We can still escape this barren misery. But even with our shackled wrists, we can fight our way through this. And we'll power all aboard the ship to total liberty.
All right, we're back. Welcome back, everybody. So Fives scampers up the side of the pit, and as you kind of reach the top, and as your head crests over the edge of it, you see this giant, or not giant, but this very large cat-like creature pounce, like just jump over your head and pounce onto one of the approaching zombies in the pit. And then you realize, like looking up, that what was his name? Ethan is standing there, and there are packs of these creatures, and they're these large panther-like creatures, but they have 6 legs, and their tentacles just writhing from their back as they all begin to jump out of the pit and down into the pit, assaulting the zombies that were approaching you guys.
I saw those in the comic book. I know what they are. Does Fives know what they are?
No, Fives probably does not know what they are.
I
Wait.
want one.
This dude is controlling Displacer Beasts?
Yeah, he has them as pets.
Right? He has them as pets.
This guy's a badass!
I want one.
Okay. That's freaking cool. Okay, so if I'm recapping, I see Ivar the Terrible. He's just laying waste to the zombies, yes?
Yeah. Well, his pets are.
Well, his pets, yes. Under his command. And clearly I can tell that they're under his command, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
He's got 2 still sitting on the ground beside him that haven't left his side.
I say hello.
He reaches down and offers you a hand to like pull you up out of the pit and onto the ground.
I look as I take the hand, I clap him on the shoulder, say thank you, and I look back at my friends, and I look at Crest, and I look at everybody, and I point at them, and I say, little help.
And Ifrin like reaches down at the edge of the pit. The other 2 Displacer Beasts sitting guard beside him, and he's got his hand open, motioning for Lexus and Javaria and Crest to like come get a hand out of the pit.
So I'm actually going to whistle at Fives to get his attention. So he just looks over at me. And as he does, I'm going to point to the end of the pit. And I'm going to take off sprinting to the end of it.
Okay.
Gotcha. I'm going to run alongside the top of the pit, keeping pace with Crest.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
I'm rolling a perception check. Beep. Yay.
All right. And with that, you can see kind of back over the gate to the area that like leads into the city, or like you're kind of just beyond that. And you can see farther into the jungle, but towards the gate, you see guards that are still fighting with swarms of zombies. Looks like they do have it under control, but it's definitely looks like it's been a rigorous kind of task for them. There are fallen zombie bodies everywhere. You can see that they're tired as they've been fighting these things off for quite a bit. But it doesn't look like anybody's paying you any mind around the Gauntlet pit area.
Okay.
All right, what about Javari and Lexus? What about you two?
I think I may serve better out of the pit.
All right, so are you running over to Ifrin?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and this is the guy that was dealing with the dinosaur that you rode from the dinosaur pins earlier.
I recall.
Just to make sure everybody knows who the character is. Okay. It had been a couple of weeks, so I wanted to just make sure.
Yep.
I'm
gonna fly out of the pit and just land next to him.
Okay.
Show off.
And Ifrin grabs Javaria's like forearm and just hoists her up out of the pit and onto the ground beside him.
I look over at Ifrin and just shaking my head. How did they get into the city without being detected?
He gestures to the jungle around you, because the area that you're actually in is beyond the city gate, so you're actually not in a walled-in, gated-in area. You're just outside of that gate, in kind of a more slummy area. He says, the people here have no protections from what walks out of the jungles.
You think with a death curse, they would at least be considerate enough to put up a wall or two for you?
Well, there's the wall there, and he gestures kind of back towards the rest of the city. He says the people out here cannot afford to live in areas where they have protection. They just deal as best they can day to day. Such is their lots in life.
Lexus has nothing but issues with this place. What now?
He shrugs and he says, let the guards do their job. Come back and enjoy dinner with me.
I don't think I do not mean to be rude, but I do not think I can enjoy dinner knowing that the undead are still out here pestering the people.
He shrugs. He says, feel free to help then. And he turns to the rest of the group and he says, dinner?
I place a hand on Lex's shoulder. And to be fair, friend, they have been dealing with this longer than we have. Not to be insensitive to their plight, but don't you think we would just be getting in their way?
I look down at the holy symbol in my hand and just quietly nod. With all that's happened today, maybe we would be in the way.
Oh.
I owe him zombies later. I feel it. Don't worry, bro. You, me, zombies. It'll be great.
Has Crest made it to the other end yet?
How fast does Crest move? 30 feet a second? Or 30 feet per round?
Yeah, and obviously sprinting, so whatever the dash is, that's double movement speed, I
Double,
think.
so 60 feet around, so that's 60 feet in 10 seconds. It takes him 20 seconds or so to make it down there and back.
Well, I'm just going down there.
Okay.
I don't need to come back because Fives was going down to meet me there, so he can help me up once I reach the end.
Okay.
But the thing that I wanted to do once I reached the end was take my dagger and carve our names into the wall.
All right. So he's probably just reached the end of all of this as Ifrin is offering you all dinner.
At hearing the offer of dinner, kind of like perk up. And so Crest has scratched his name or our names on the side. I've helped him out. Yes.
That's the plan.
Okay. So I mean, let's go do that then. Jesus.
Okay. I need to check something real quick. But he walks you back to his villa, which looks a lot like Wakanda's. In fact, it's set up very similarly as far as the layout. And you kind of get the impression that the villas are laid out this way on purpose so that each of the merchant prince's villa is not nicer than anyone else's. It is decorated a bit differently. You don't notice any of the mystic runes around the doors that surrounded Wakanga's. But instead, he has pins outside of his house that he has dinosaurs in. He's got just kind of these posts that you would tie up mounts to, scattered around his or at the front of the villa. Inside, his rugs are made of like creature skins, and it's much more of a kind of a taking pride in both owning and dominating animals feel to this than Wakanga's, where Wakanga's was very much about the arcane.
So like Beastmaster.
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
I dig it.
Dang it. And the thing that I wanted to know about him... Oh, okay, hang on. Is not in here. Dang it. Alright. So he ushers you guys into his villa, and I'm going to pull up the villa map for you just so you guys can see kind of what that area looks like. Again, make sure that this has... we're going to pull you over here. You guys see the map okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
So he brings you into the foyer and sits you down, and he says, dinner will be served momentarily, and he kind of bows, and there, sitting with you are two Jabraxi. And he makes introductions from you guys to the two Jabraxi. He says, this is River Mist and Flask of Wine. They are two trusted guides out into the jungles of Chult. And I figured that since I was having dinner with them and your path will eventually take you there, the dinner between all of you would be beneficial.
We've need of guides.
Yeah, that was one of the things. That was one of the things we were looking for before you were so wrongfully imprisoned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, that's good. We've need of guides.
Oh, I thought you were like phrasing it in a question.
No. Can I go wash up?
He says, please, and he kind of claps his hand, and a well-dressed servant in kind of very nice hides comes out, and he says, please take this gentleman to clean up. And the servant kind of bows just slightly at the chest and begins to walk down the hallway.
I'm going to look at Javaria, look at the other cats, and say, family, and then follow along behind the dude because I smell like dinosaur dung and rotting zombie.
Okay.
I begin to follow Fives while looking back the rest of me. That's probably the best idea he's had all week.
God damn it, you guys.
So I'm gonna follow Fives, keep him out of trouble,
Okay.
quote unquote.
I mean, if everyone else is going, might as well.
And you guys can hear the two Jabraxi kind of talking very lowly amongst themselves as you guys exit the room to go wash up.
Kind of hoping these are like those two cats from Lady and the Tramp.
Can I do? I guess it would probably be perception to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah, go
Or
ahead and
investigation,
give me a
perception.
perception or investigation. Either of those will work.
Let's go with investigation for this one.
Okay. No, you can't quite make out what they're saying. You can catch words here and there, but it's not enough to actually be able to tell what they're talking about, what the subject of the conversation is.
Fair enough.
All right. So you guys are all kind of going to the washroom. Are you doing anything else? Are you talking amongst yourselves or anything while you're on your way, or are you just going to clean up?
No, I'm at this point I'm kind of sullen. I'm a little Fives is feeling sullen. Fives has been accused of theft, thrust into, basically been attacked by a treasure chest, been muted by magic, been, falsely accused, had to sleep in a cell overnight, fight all kinds of crap in a pit, was stoned to death, or stoned to unconsciousness. He kind of just is like, you just need a bath. Just need a freaking.
You just need to wash the day off of you.
Yeah, I need to wash the week off of me.
Okay.
And the mimic was not his fault. He had questions, and the wizard was being like, zip it. Because the wizard is just a douche.
You attacked it.
You remember in Beetlejuice when they the mouth just is sealed? Or was it the Cube? It was the movie The Cube or something like that, where the mouth just becomes like a flesh thing.
The Matrix?
Yeah, like the Matrix, yeah. I'm gonna make your mouth a flesh thing and see how well you react to that.
Well, I'm not gonna kick an innocent mimic.
I'm gonna kick his money over. It's what he apparently seemed to give a damn about. And for what it's worth, the mimic failed twice, botched twice, and I beat the shit out of that mimic.
That is true.
Poor mimic.
I would have killed it and looted the hell out of it if it wasn't for the 50,000 other freaking wizards that were pointing guns at me.
Fives, you're embarrassing me in front of the other wizards.
God, Mom.
God, Mom. An annoying turkey. I'm gonna remember that, Snick Lady.
Yep. Lexus is just gonna be sitting in one of the tubs of the water, just running his thumb over the holy symbol, just still fighting with the idea that something is not right here, that his connection to his god is being screwed with in so many ways.
I just realized I am uncharacteristically quiet as a character.
So I have a thing to do that I don't normally do, so let me figure out how to do this. I have a handout for you guys. But I don't know where. Okay, is it in here? Is this right? I gotta find it. I feel like this is. Is this it? Nope. What am I giving you? Hang on. Appendix E, handout 8. Alright, so you guys are washing up, you're kind of relaxing, getting all the bullshit of the day or the week or the month, whatever, kind of off of you. And relaxing in the baths. And about an hour or so goes by. with you guys relaxing, kind of catching up with each other, your mood is definitely kind of increased a bit more now. You're feeling a bit better about kind of where you are now that you've gotten some time to relax and kind of let the day or the week kind of work its way off of you. And eventually the two Jabraxis, Jabraxi? I don't know
What are
plural of
Jabraxi again?
They're the cat people.
Oh,
Wait,
Tabaxi.
the
Tabaxi.
Tabaxis.
Sorry, I don't know why I,
I was
said
like, I'm
Jabraxi.
sitting there
I don't know.
googling this, like, what the fuck
Yeah,
am I looking at?
I couldn't
Tabaxi.
find anything on
kind of
Google what a
assumed that's what
Jabaxi is.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, the Tabaxis. Okay.
The Tabaxi.
Oh,
Eventually join you, but they kind of keep to themselves. I guess what we'll do is we'll just do this. Show to players. Show to everyone. All right, so there is Flask of Wine. And...
Kitty.
Where's the other one? What was the other one's name? River Mist, that's right. River Mist.
Sierra Mist.
Show to
Oh!
Never missed.
So you guys should now see those two Jabraxi. And let me pull it up on the right screen here. So I don't... Too many things
So
to...
our names are similar. Yay!
So those are the two Tabaxi that have kind of joined you guys, and they seem to be doing the same, where they are just kind of allowing themselves to relax, to let whatever they've been through lately wash off of themselves. But they speak very quietly to themselves, and one of them, River, speaks a lot more than Flask does. Flask just kind of tends to listen and nod in agreement or shake their head slightly when they don't agree. But it looks like it's a one-sided conversation from your perspective, but it looks like they're both engaged in whatever conversation they're having.
You okay there, Max?
I don't think Max is ever okay. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
All right.
No,
so,
the only image I have in my head is Javaria is just barely, from the nose up so that she can breathe, just kind of peeking out the water, slowly inching towards the two of them. Like, I haven't seen one of my own kind in a hot minute.
give me a stealth roll there, Miss. Not as sneaky as she thinks she is.
And this is with proficiency, not that it matters.
So you get about a couple of feet, like real well within earshot of the two, and they immediately stop talking and just kind of their attention turns to you as they watch you slink over. And Flask looks at you, or excuse me, River Mist looks at you, and he says, "Would you and your companions like guidance into Chot? Into the jungles? For there is much danger there, but we are happy to take you along, show you the way around."
And that is why we are here.
This is excellent. So, we have dinner tonight. We enjoy it. In the morning, we make way into the jungles of Chot. You look for something?
We seek a few things. And I personally don't remember quite what they are. The only thing I remember is I'm looking for my little statuary. Like me personally, I don't remember.
Well, the rest of you are looking for a way to end the curse, right?
Yes.
I'm also looking for a town where this book was found. This waterlogged, crappy book.
He says, "Wonderful. We will explore all of the jungles. It will be a glorious time, and we will find all of the things you are looking for, I promise."
Burn the jungle?
In which you get a flick of water in your direction. It's like, no burning jungles.
I would like to burn the jungle.
Maybe he stays away from the campfires. The
I look over at Fives. I'm like, Fives, right now, setting the jungle on fire would probably just have really mad flaming dinosaurs running after you.
So they look at you and they say, bright and early in the morning, you prepare. You unmount, or shall we walk?
Can I point over at Ivar?
Ivar's not in the room.
Oh, okay. That's right. Ivar promised mounts.
They nod. We will discuss with him at dinner then. And they say, first, we take you to this, how do you say, a column where you will be able to scout all of Chult and be able to see for many miles.
Crest is going to love that. You just kind of look over at Crest like, get your books ready.
His eyes are already like lit up, and his hands are kind of like itching to get his pencil and book out. And
He said, it will let you scout and see from ocean to ocean, from ocean to mountains even.
Oceans to mountain, even.
Crest is like barely containing himself. Looks like a kid that can't sit still in their seat.
It's like he just got told he's going to Disneyland.
Exactly.
He says,
I'm ready to go. Let's go now.
He leans, Flask leans over real close to River Mist's ear, and you can see Flask's mouth barely moving, and River Mist's eyes widen. He's like, yes, of course, how could I forget? We take you and we show you the little frogs.
Little frogs?
The little frog people. Have you not seen the little frogs?
Wait.
Oh, it's such a delight. They are
Wait.
such.
Yes, we have.
Not fruit.
Assuming they're the same.
Not fruit. Yeah, berries.
We encountered them on the boat in to port.
The sun
This is fantastic. This will be such an adventure that you can write home to your people about and tell them how River Mist and Flask of Wine took you on such a lovely journey around Chult, and it will only cost you 20 gold pieces.
Seems reasonable, considering we're going to get a fair amount of gold from the gauntlet.
Where is wine?
Huh?
Who has wine?
Are you asking as far as the character Flask of Wine, or are you asking like the legitimate substance wine?
Well, no, I heard flask of wine, so I paid attention again after hopping up and down about the berries. I'm assuming. Well, Fives is assuming somebody has wine.
Oh, okay. Sorry, DM was trying to figure out what you were talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, just remember Fives is a toddler.
River looks over. He goes, no, his name, Flask of Wine. He's very quiet.
Look over, kind of sniff at him. Doesn't smell like wine.
Just wait until after dinner.
Ha!
And about that time, Ifrin kind of peeks his head in, and he says, dinner is ready. Please join me in the dining area once you have made yourselves decent and dried off. And he closes the door.
What in the room fucking naked? I'm so tempted.
Don't do it.
I need a spell that just like manifests clothes on Fives.
Is
Simple
glamour
illusion.
is glamour still a spell?
It will be this week.
It's a cantrip now.
All
right, no, I will not. I stand exposing myself to everybody in the room. Do the bird shake thing where the water just flies off the feathers.
Do
And I'm
your
all-
feathers like puff up too?
Yeah, I'm all poofy. And then I hide my honor beneath my clothing. And it's dinner time.
All right, so the dinner spread that you guys walk out to, and once you leave the bath and the humidity and the smell of the smoke and the he's got like hickory wood in there that heats up the pool, so it smells real nice in the bathing area. Once you leave, the house is filled with the smell of food, and it's roast. And once you get into the kitchen, you can see the spread laid out. There's roast and there's vegetables. And there's giant hunks of meat that you're not sure what kind of animal it came off of because it's a leg that's as big as your head. But you're also just salivating and not asking a whole lot of questions as you sit down. But he sits at the head of this table, and there's a place set for each of you, and a bottles of wine placed on the table and glasses at each of your places. And he stands as you enter the room, and he says, "Please have a seat. I like nothing better than to feast and eat with good friends."
Good friends. Five's gonna sit and begin drinking wine.
I'm gonna follow suit. I'm following Fives right now, and I'm sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sit down and start to eat. My little snake familiar is gonna slither out from under my sleeve and coil up next to my plate and also start eating, even though it doesn't need to.
And Flask of Wine and River Mist both sit beside each other, their chairs pretty much touching as they begin to eat and look down the table.
I'm going to pet and boop the snoot of the snake familiar.
I am scooting down the other end of the table.
Also, I have by now finished 1 cup of wine.
Okay. And Ifrin looks up and he says, "So, you've decided to go into Chot with these fine guides, yes?"
Yes.
This is wonderful, wonderful. They they come most highly recommended. I do have a favor to ask of the 6 of you. If you come across some species that you can bring back, some glorious creature that you've never seen before, that you can bring back, that you can manage to bring back to me, I will pay well for. I'm always on the lookout for creatures to add to my collections.
Well, given the fact we are new to this place, if you could give us a manifest of things you already have, there's quite a few things here we have not seen.
He kind of wipes his mouth with a napkin, and he stands up and turns around to a shelf behind him, and he pulls out a tome that's about as thick as, I don't know, the stand. And it's just, he pulls it out and he lays it on the table with a thud. And he throws it open and he's like, "Here, you can peruse. I have seen many things on this island."
So
And
I think
that's when I look over to Crest and
Yeah.
waggle eyebrows.
Crest immediately just scoops up the book and pulls out that nifty Xerox book that I got and just starts copying everything down.
So
Also,
you just
because
place it. So all you have to do there is place the Xerox book on top of it, and everything just kind of copies automatically.
There we go. That's exactly what I do. I
And
give him his book back and start perusing my own copy of it.
Ifrin raises an eye, watching you do this, and he says, "Is that part of Wakanga's mumble whatever trinkets?"
Was. Now it's part of mine.
That man relies on magic too much. There are benefits to doing things the old ways.
I can agree to that as I pull out 5 tomes of just copied down garble.
Handwritten.
But there's something to be said about magic.
Pah!
It makes things easier and quicker. I would not be a wizard if I didn't think so.
Old ways are better. Old ways, you retain the essence of the information. This, you just have words and pictures.
Old ways are slower.
Ah, but worth it.
They can be. I will agree to that. But we don't have time on our side right now.
He puts his finger like on the top of the book and he like thumps it and he's like, I know every word of every beast of every drawing in this book. You have the same book but know nothing.
I will know it all soon enough. This is my night right here, tapping on the top of the book. I'm going through every single page tonight. I am memorizing every single word and every single line. So I can copy down this book from memory when I'm finished.
He shrugs. He says, old ways are still better.
Old ways. Smack. I've had like 6 or 7 glasses of wine at this point. I'm going to bring out my soggy, half-rotten book that has the picture of the shield and shit inside of it. And I'm going to shove it towards Ivar and ask him, you know this?
He looks at it, he shakes his head, says, I don't recognize this book, no. If it does not deal with beasts and animals, then it is of no importance to me.
Put it back away. Stumble to my chair. Come in drinking yet more wine.
And Ifrin takes a moment to compose himself after because you can tell that like the topic of magic and items and Wakanga kind of got to him. He stops and he takes a moment to compose himself and he says, so, you are off first thing in the morning? You have nothing else here in town to handle?
Other than collecting our boon, I think we are good.
He raises an eyebrow. Boon?
You'll see.
He shrugs.
Pit.
I didn't want to say winnings because, you know.
Oh, that. Yeah. Those are long gone. You might as well just... There's no telling who made off with that pile when the horde came in.
Damn it.
See her ears kind of flatten like motherfucker.
It would be like looking for a specific route in all of Chult. There's no way you will find.
I look over at Javaria. You bet on us?
To win?
We bet correctly on you.
Bet on us?
I bet
instead
on you
of thinking
with
of
confidence.
Instead of thinking of a way to help us out, you were placing bets.
We were trying
on our
to
survival.
help you out, but it turned out it was best to just let it run its course, because if we had tried to break you out, you would have been in more trouble and executed. So we made worthwhile of our investment. Until zombies happened.
Well, it's not over yet. I mean, they've got to run this gauntlet fairly regularly, right? We'll just go back next time they run it and demand our payment.
We still have
Do
our
you honestly think that's going to work?
Ifrin laughs pretty loudly at that statement. He's like, good luck, friend. You will need your army to collect your gold.
We have our ways.
It can be arranged.
He shrugs. If you say so, friend, if you say so. You are more than welcome to spend the evening here with me if you'd like. You are welcome to the wine and the comforts that I have. And he kind of picks up his glass, having finished his meal, and walks into a room with this large skin that's thrown out as a rug, and is stuffed with pillows, kind of all the way from basically from wall to wall, covering the floor other than where the skin rug lays. And he just kind of relaxes back into the pile of pillows, sitting down.
I will spend my evening here. I follow him into that room, find a pillow, pass the fuck out.
Okay.
That counts as a long rest and as a meditation.
Sure. What about the rest of you? Because at this point, he's kind of as he's getting drunk, he's telling stories and he's listening to stories that River Mist tells, with flasks of wine interjecting maybe a word here or there every hour or two, but not speaking very much.
So I think Crest is going to sleep enough to get a long rest because I need my stuff back. But he's going to spend the majority of the rest of his night, probably copying by hand the info out of the Xerox book into a new empty tome. So next time he uses the Xerox book, he doesn't lose anything.
Okay, so somewhere late in the evening, Ifrin will walk by, seeing him copy things out of the book by hand into another book, and he will say, "See, old ways are better. You end up doing it that way anyway."
Yes, but you see, this way I can take my magical book with me. I don't have to do it all in one night and forego my rest.
He says, "Still, old ways are best ways." And he just takes his leave. What about Javaria?
Javaria is going to curl up into a nice warm ball under a pile of pillows and take a long rest.
Okay. Alright, so you all get the benefits of a long rest. Very early morning, each of you are awoken by a shake to the shoulder. And there standing over you is River Mist, and he looks down and he says, "It's time to get going. Wake up." Bird had too much to drink. Wake up and let's go. You feel better once you move.
Wake up, move. Okay. I'm gonna start making that loud ass bell noise from the ship.
I have a feeling that Lexus would be up before them, just due to the training and everything that he went through back at the temple.
Okay.
You know, the whole early to rise, whatever.
Okay. Where do we find Crest? Because in my head, Crest is like passed out with a quill in hand, like on the book still.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
With the ink on his face.
So he probably just found a quiet corner somewhere, not out of sight, but out of the way, and just spent the night there doing his work and eventually passing out.
Okay.
Where's breakfast?
We get breakfast on the road. You just wake and come. We will find breakfast for ourselves, cook and clean and eat our own food like real adventurers. That's what you want, yes?
Yes.
Then
Breakfast.
we will find our food. Come.
I like these guys.
That makes me wonder if they've ever actually been on an adventure. It sounds like something someone that just read about adventure would say.
Oh, no, we've been on many, many adventures. How you think we know where Spire is? How you think we know where little frog people are? We've been on many adventures.
And you just see Javaria pause, look over at Crest, and just go, books.
Yeah, at that point, I'm probably just gonna pull out the tome that I had the map in of this island and just kind of like hold up the map and be like, "This is how you could know."
You'll see Spire marked on said map. You'll see frog people marked on map. No.
Well, we'll find out soon, won't we?
We will find out soon.
Ever.
He says, "You have insulted us. We take payment, half payment up front now."
I mean, I'm broke, so
Damn it, Crest.
Just to keep the peace, I walk over and I hand them 10 gold. Then I shoot like a zip it look over
I'm
the
giving
Crest.
Crest a look of consternation. I like that word. That's a very accurate word to the look that I'm giving Crest.
They say, "Apology accepted," like the moment the gold hits their paw. He's like, "Apology accepted. I knew we would be good friends."
Good friends.
He says,
Can I
"Gather
walk out?
gear. Let's go. I am hungry. Hungry for adventure and the fruits of the jungle."
Also, since I have cartography, but I'm going to share the map that I was given by the captain that shanghaied us, for the simple fact that it is incomplete, and it would help if, more than one person was filling it in case I miss something he doesn't, or vice versa.
Are you handing that to
Crest to copy,
to Crest? All right.
so that we can both fill it in, stuff like that as we go. Compare notes.
The finest skooma, the sweetest moon sugar.
That's mine. You stay on my stash.
Khajiit have wares if you have coin.
Khajiit has mine.
So, you guys leave Ifrin's villa, and then out in front of the villa are 4 Triceratops that are fitted with saddle and saddle bags. And Ifrin's standing there, like stroking the nose of one of them, and he says, "You sleep too long, lazy bones. Half of the morning is already gone. I have prepared mounts for you. Come, take your pick."
I want to ride an Ankylosaur. Do we have one of those?
He looks
No,
around, he
no.
says, "You get Triceratops. If you bring me back later, we will talk. But first, you bring back Triceratops. They are very special. I want to know that I can trust you with them before I give you anything of actual value.
Okay, seems fair.
Too many mounts go into the jungle and don't return."
I really hope we don't lose this damn mount. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I hop up on the Triceratops, right between the horns, and just squat. Right on its little forehead.
He looks at you and he says, it cannot see that way. Sit on the saddle." Your eyes are like dangling in front of this thing's eyes, or your legs are dangling in front of this thing's eyes.
Can I perch up on the frill?
How much do you weigh? Like 150?
Nah, dude.
No?
Like
Hollow bones, he's a bird.
Oh, that's all right.
maybe 90 pounds.
Yeah, you probably can.
Soaking wet.
You probably can, and Ifrin just looks up at you and shakes his head. Silly bird.
Silly bird.
Javaria just looks up at Crest and points, not Crest, god damn it, over at Fives, and I point at the saddle. Just like, ow.
No. I like here. I can see.
Fine, I'll drive this one.
How many mounts has he provided?
4 for you guys. So
That's
one for
including
each of you,
okay.
basically.
And they're all Triceratops?
They are.
So it's Javaria's driving mine, and I'm just riding around on it.
Yeah, because I don't trust you to steer this thing.
I'm totally okay with that. Says we got to give mounts to the other 2 yahoos, don't we?
River looks around and says, "No, we have our mounts. We do not need such charities."
Charities. Ifrin, you keep one.
He shrugs his shoulders. He says, "If you're sure, I'd be happy not to risk losing one into the jungles."
I mean, we could probably double up on the mounts.
I mean, they are a good deal bigger than we are.
That way, we only have to take 2 instead of 4.
I want to confer with the party. Don't want to lose mount. No gold.
It's got a point.
What about Lexus? Everybody else seems good with 2 mounts.
Lexus is fine with it. Like in the back of his head, he's thinking that Chris just suggested that, so Lexus would have to drive while he just starts writing in his books.
That's exactly why he suggested it.
I kind of figured.
And I gotta babysit the bird, so this is fine.
Ifrin nods and he says, "If you are comfortable with just 2, then I am happy not to risk any more." And he says,
Be good friend.
"Please be on your way, and remember, if you find something of interest, something that squirms or growls, bring it back to me.
Has to be alive?
Preferably."
So I think I'm actually gonna go up to Ifrin and say, I have a special request, if you don't mind, while we're away.
And he tilts his head to the side. "Happy to help."
I'm in need of some very specific spell components. and you're in the prime position for acquiring one of them.
And he looks to. How can I be of service?
It shouldn't cost you anything, but I need the finest dino excrement you can get your hands on.
Did some wizard tell you that?
A wizard did tell me that, in fact.
Of course they did. One moment.
Well, I don't need it now. I don't especially want to carry it around with me in the forest or the jungle. But if you could have it for me when we return, that would be spectacular.
He says, "Let me. You have a list, I assume."
I do.
Let me see the list.
I will hand him the scrap of paper that has the 4 remaining ingredients listed on it.
And he goes down the line, and he's like, "Yes." He says, "You can get all of this here, this morning, probably. In fact."
Oh, fantastic.
He notes off to the side. I forgot what I called it. Crap. What was the list I gave you?
Literally, one of the items was crap.
There was ocean foam, filth of civilization, dino excrement, and fingernail of undead.
He says, "Okay, 2 of these things you can find in the same spot. If you go out of town, where I met you yesterday, near the pit, if you continue from the pit north, there's a heap that we tend to throw the zombies into, or anything that is unsightly that we don't want lying around the village or the town. I would imagine that you can get a fingernail and the waste of civilization there. Seafoam, go to the docks. There's plenty there, especially early mornings like this."
Crest is very quickly writing all this stuff down as he explains it.
So I'm going to mark on the map the area that he mentioned is this one at the very top over here. So you guys can get that circled in red.
Isn't that the lava fire pit?
No, that's the stack of waste, basically.
Gotcha.
And zombie carcasses that they throw out there. I should probably show not that screen. Crap. Alright, I need to close this on Chrome, so I stopped opening it there by accident. But yeah, so that's the area that he kind of marks, that he indicated. And I think with that, we should take our second break for the night. So you folks that are watching at home, thanks so much for hanging out with us and enjoying the show. And we're going to take a quick 5-minute break and be back momentarily. So don't go anywhere. We will continue our maybe our first steps into Chult this evening. We'll see. But thanks for hanging out, and we will be right back.
Mwah.
A sailor ain't the sailor anymore. 2 cans of beer a day, that's your bleeding lot. But now we have an extra one because we stopped the tot. So we'll put on our civic clothes, we'll find a proper shore. A sailor's just a sailor, just like he was before. Don't haul on the ropes, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Just get your civvies ready for another on the shore. A sailor ain't the sailor anymore. Don't haul on the ropes, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Just get your civvies ready for another on the shore. A sailor ain't the sailor anymore.
In early spring, when small birds sing and lamb do sport and play, my way I took my friends for sup, and went to Dublin Bay. I am what I ask, a passenger, and to England I sail over, and bade farewell to all of my friends, and left the Shamrock shore. To London fair I did repair, my fortune where to find. I found it was a lovely place and pleasant to my eyes. The ladies too were fair unto view, and rich the purse they wore, but none I saw that could compare with the maids of the Shamrock shore. With the maids of the Shamrock shore. Now come all you ladies gay, who rob sailors of their pay, Won't you listen while I sing this tarry tune? For when Jack Tar comes ashore with his money all in store, sure there's no one can get rid of it so soon, so soon, so soon. Sure there's no one can get rid of it so soon.
All right, we're back. Welcome back, everybody.
That part, you know what? Hi, welcome back.
A good point to end that conversation.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so Crest has some key places that he can go to, kind of marked out on the map for him, where he can kind of find the things that he needs, or was told by that wizard that he needs. You guys have mounts and ready to go into Schultz, and Flask and Mist a River are ready to kind of take you guys. What are you doing?
I'm ready to rock, baby.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go as well. I think we're all just waiting on Crest to decide if he's gonna go grab his components or not.
Yeah, and I think I'm actually gonna ask you out of character here. Is this something I should do before we go, or is it something I should do after we get back?
That's a good question. Because I don't know the timeline on the other circumstance, but we can always complicate things.
Oh, that's yay.
I mean, I can always make things more complicated, and I'm happy to do so.
I think for the sake of probably getting out of the town by next session, I'll do it when we get back.
Okay. All right. That just means that actually finishing it up may take a bit longer, depending on what you guys get into outside of the town. Sorry, for you guys watching at home, there's a player that we need to introduce, and part of this component story is introducing that player, but we don't know when that player is going to be ready to play. So Alicorn, we need to talk and get a rough timeline from you. But we can always figure it out another way too. I can always figure out if she's ready to play. We will figure something else out if need be. There's more than one way to break your curse, is probably the best way to put that. So yeah, it's up to you. If you want to go, if you feel comfortable going in and exploring now, then we can do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I say let's go into the jungle now.
Okay.
Burn the jungle down.
Okay. So in that case, Flask and River say that we will meet you at the southern gates at Marla's throat to begin our grand adventure into the jungles of Chult.
Mm-hmm. Grand adventure. Hep hep.
He says, give us 5 minutes to collect our supplies, and we will meet you there for this grand voyage that we shall all go on.
Those are really enthusiastic.
I have to ask: do either of them have like those, like the Pilth helmets on, like the old like safari hats?
No. Say yes. Oh.
Because that's the image I have in my mind of how gung ho they are about going into the wild.
No, they do not. So are you guys going to the gate to meet them, or what are you doing? Because they've kind of gone off to collect their goods and get themselves provisioned and ready to go out into the woods.
I say we do a little bit of an inventory check. If we need potions, we should stock if it's within our budget. Little things.
No. I have Jar of Funk. We good.
My budget is 0, so.
No, we go. We good. Let's go.
Between paying for the little snafu earlier and helping out the healers all here. I've got about 14 gold left on me.
According to my paper, I have 46 gold. I do not know how accurate that is.
It should be accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
Haha, I'm rich!
Well,
Rich-ish.
well, in comparison to the rest of the party.
You have money, yay.
There you go.
Hey, man. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
So you're saying you want to fight a Cyclops? I mean, I can make that happen.
No, please no.
Yes! That is what
No, that is not a question you say yes to.
Cyclopsosaurus.
So
I'm very okay with all this. I am so ready to throw my life away.
So you guys, you get to the gate where Mist and Flask told you to meet them. And you're there for about 10 minutes. And you see no sign of them. And this woman walks up to you, and she's got her hair back, and it's this orange-red color, and it's back in dreads that are tied back. And she looks you up and down, and just a smirk kind of appears on her lips, and she's probably looking at Crest.
Friend of yours?
I don't believe so.
She says, are you waiting for those two tabaxi?
We are, yes.
You will be here all day.
Yeah, you know, I'm not surprised by that.
Chances are that they got sidetracked by some ball of yarn and will be hours late.
Who are you?
She says, I am Zakaza Stormfang, and I lead the best tours into Cholt of anyone in Fort Naranzayu.
How much?
Oh my god, we don't need a tour guide.
She says, I will do it for free, assuming that you help me with a little matter.
How much?
Free.
No, matter.
Ah, yes. Well, I have a family heirloom, DM mispronunciation, a family heirloom that was stolen from me by someone and took it into the jungles of Cholt, and I would like to retrieve it.
Like you.
There are evil terrafolk who have stolen this heirloom from me, and I would like to get it back. But I am happy to take you into the jungles if you are happy to assist me with this quest.
I pull out the Warren journal. I hold it in my right hand. I pull out a little piece of paper. I've been scrawling down. Apparently, we owe... I gotta give Wakaka, whatever his name is, Wakanga.
Wakaka.
We owe him something interesting. Isengard or Ivar or... Ifrin. We owe him.
Isengard.
I'm just gonna write down, like, heirloom for... Name?
Azaka.
Zaka.
Azaka.
Azaka.
Bless you.
Put it back in my pocket. We go.
She looks to the rest of the group. Your friend here seems to be most happy with this arrangement. The rest of you? Or does he speak for you all?
He barely speaks, let alone for all of us. I am perfectly okay with the arrangement, given that our tour guides are probably not coming back.
I'm a little miffed at the fact that we paid them half for their services already.
She laughs. You gave them gold. Oh, young ones, you have much to learn.
Where could we find them?
She looks and she shrugs. She says, probably spending your gold.
Lex, it's fine. We go.
It is not fine.
Why?
We paid for services and they are not being rendered.
How much you pay?
We gave them half, which is 10 gold.
I give...
I hold my head up. It's not about the money. It's about
always
the
about money.
no. It's about the word that they gave.
It's a sense of honor. Even Tabaxi hold it high, and they need some re-educating.
I don't want to go pit.
Oh, then you stay here.
Okay.
We sort this matter out.
No, you sort. I sit.
We're not leaving Fives alone. If he stays here, I will stay with him.
Not alone.
We will
I
wait
have
for
Dino.
you. No, we are not leaving you alone, Fives.
Not alone. Have Dino.
No, Fives, no. Not a chance.
You want to chance? I pull out my loaded dice.
No, I don't.
I'll let you two sort this argument out. Come on.
Yep. I'm leaving the mount in possession of Crest as I start to follow Javaria as we begin. Like, I guess we begin to look for two Tabaxi we may need to smack around.
And Azaka calls after you. Spend the day looking for your friends. You will not find them.
Azaka.
She says it's best to get started now.
You don't know me at all.
Azaka. Can we go?
Okay, well, I have at least one idea. Okay, so what is it? Track? Maybe a survival, I guess?
Get us so fucking
To
arrested.
see if I can at least get some sort of beginning spot on tracking them, and if it seems to go nowhere, we'll go.
Sure. You guys did get that handout of Azaka too, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure that worked.
Alright, so I'm gonna roll my survival, and if it's not good enough to actually see about hunting them down, we're just gonna ditch them like promenades.
It's mean.
And that is with proficiency.
Well, yeah, your highest was your first anyway. I think because of the traffic, the amount of foot and dinosaur traffic that Port Naran Zayu gets, especially with no idea really where to start, I don't think you're going to be able to track them down.
Okay.
I think there's just too much going on in Port Naran Zayu for you to be able to do it without a starting point.
Alright, well, they're going to get a very strongly worded lecture from me when we get back.
I hop down. I'm gonna hop down off my thing. I'm gonna look up at Lex and Javaria. I'm gonna try to put my hands on their shoulders. I'm kind of just doing one of those.
It's like a little kid swinging between their parents.
Yeah, kind of. It was gonna be like, we will find them later. We find later. We choke now.
And Azaka turns to you and says, "Do not worry. Many have been conned by those Jabraxis. I don't even know that they've ever stepped foot outside of Port Naran Zayu."
I point at the other guys. It's like, I fucking know it.
Crest is just like double face palming at this point because he called it before they even left the house.
Impious, we're gonna meet them later, so help me God.
You might. You might die before you meet them. You know. Yeah.
My ghost will meet them.
How dare!
I will meet them in hell.
Threaten us with a good time.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
But she says, "Come, let's go," and she pulls the reins on this Velociraptor that she has mounted with a saddle, and she swings over it in just a quick motion of just like hopping off the ground, and then all of a sudden she's on the saddle, and she says, "Come, you bring your slow beast and we go."
It's okay, slow beast.
Well,
I want to name my Triceratops.
the rest of the group is fine with going with their. I'm not going to argue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I start.
Slow beast.
I start. I hop back on a Triceratops and try to keep it as still as possible, so I don't have to listen to Crest complaining about the bumps in the road ruining his handwriting.
Slow butt.
Messing up my drawings, man. Smooth it out a little.
We'll just call it topography. It's fine.
Bumpy butt.
So, this is where we get into this very nicely detailed map of Chult, and you guys getting to use it. So there's a couple of things that we need to, I guess, establish in the way that we're going to use this map.
Yes,
Things that are uncovered already, areas you've been in, or things that are explored enough that have been mapped. You can get through at a quicker pace than you can unexplored and unmarked territory. So at a reasonable pace, which is like you guys taking your time, not pushing yourselves, not getting exhausted, not running through all your supplies, stuff like that. In a unexplored area, you get 1 hex a day. In an already explored area, you get 3. Because there are already trails that have been marked out, things like that. You can push yourselves to push your animals faster and push yourselves faster, and at that point you do risk exhaustion and having to stop and take a break. The longer that you push yourselves, the higher the risk of exhaustion becomes. But at that pace, you move double. So you get 2 unmarked areas or 6 already explored areas. Or you can take your time and do it slowly, at which point you get one square either marked or unmarked. But that allows you to regain some of your exhaustion, and it allows you to kind of make sure that any encounters that you run into, you're already prepared for, and you guys will basically have first action on. And
What's the yellow outline? The yellow highlighted areas on the map?
That is for me to worry about and not you.
Okay.
That's just something for it's an indication for the DM.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like, like poison mist areas or something like that,
Nope.
that, once we walk in, we're dead.
Nope, that is something for the DM to note, and it just changes the encounter tables, basically.
Oh, okay.
Which one of these? I know you marked Vorn somewhere. Which one of these X's is it? Because I don't.
It's this one over here.
Okay, because all I see is Camp Righteous marked.
Yeah.
And okay, so that one's. I want to go there.
You want to head towards Vorn?
I want to head towards Vorn.
Okay, let me.
Ahsoka, I want to go to Vorn.
She says, "No. First, you fulfill your bargain, and we retrieve my heirloom. Then I show you around."
Okay.
She says, "I need my payments, but I will take you into Chult as far as it goes for me to complete our bargain, and then afterwards we go where you would like to go. But I would like my payments up front."
Okay. Lead.
All right, so what we're going to do is this red token here is you guys. So you're starting out at Port Naranzayu. What pace would you like to travel at?
This is all explored then, so I guess just a normal pace.
Is that good for the rest of the group, or are you
Like
guys
three
making
hexes
fives the navigator here?
I
I
would.
am sitting higher than everybody. I am the navigator.
He's the GPS.
No, he has a GPS. There's a difference.
Oh, that's right. He swallowed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with going a normal pace.
At least until we get a good idea of what we're dealing with, and as we get more comfortable or less comfortable, case may be, we may change our pace.
Okay.
And that is 3 hexes a day.
It is 3 hexes a day at a normal pace if they are already explored. Yeah.
Has this chick marked where we're going specifically?
She has not. She's just begun leading you because it's not in her interest to mark it, because then you just leave without her.
Okay.
So she's just kind of leading you guys, and you guys begin a path. Let me find where she's actually going. I saw it a second ago, I swear. Okay, I do see
I assume as we travel, both Javaria and myself are probably marking on our own maps the paths and stuff that we take.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, 1, and I'm just going to move your party marker to 3. Oh, 3. Okay. So that is the first night. And where's my encounter table at in here?
And just like
Actually, that's pretty uneventful. So what you guys do is you leave the comforts and the surroundings of Port Naranzayu, making your way out into the thick jungles of Chult for the first time. And the first day, or excuse me, the first, let's call it 8 hours of the day, you're still kind of you can see Port Naranzayu in the background. If you turn around, it still kind of feels, it's not really forest yet. And then the last 8 hours, you guys get into where the forest of Chult begin to actually take hold. And the terrain changes, and it's no longer this stride through fields as the Triceratops are not the most deftly skilled at maneuvering through thick jungles and trees, and they're definitely not the quietest. You notice that they stomp and crush roots underfoot as they follow path. But Azaka ahead of you on her raptor is kind of moving with speed to the point where she gets ahead of you and you almost get worried that she's going to get out of sight. And then you come up on her and she is sitting down eating or just waiting for you to catch up with her before she mounts her raptor again and begins to take off. What are you guys doing as you're traveling, as this terrain has changed?
My first question is, what is our insect situation? Because if it's going to start getting nasty, I'm going to need that goop from 5.
Okay. So at first, especially the first half of the day, it's not bad. You're still out in some field area. There's not really any standing water or anything around, so it's okay. The second half of the day, or the last 8 hours rather, it starts to get a little annoying. You've got bugs that are flying around you that are not really biting, but just kind of there and in the way, and you're having to bat them off to get them kind of out of your face. But most of the time, it's fine. You're not getting bit by anything.
All right,
I think it's time to goop up.
Yeah, I'm going to instruct everyone to slather the nasty on them before we do start getting bit.
No, my jar.
5s, you remember the diseases that those people had in the temple?
Oh.
You don't want those. 5s.
Nope.
It's still your jar. You just need to wear it now.
Fine.
I look over to 5s like it's either that or I have to start cutting your flesh open to drain out icky black stuff when you get it.
I take and I start lobbing glop at them. Everybody gets 1 dollop.
So I do actually have to ask at this point, because I'm a water genasi and I have like a natural layer of dampness on my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Would that stuff actually remain on me, or would that dampness just kind of wash it away?
Would the bugs even bother with you is my next question.
Yeah.
I think that it probably is less effective, but you are also less affected by the bugs.
Gotcha.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
No. No.
Well, so the way that random encounters work is I roll a dice 3 times a day for in-game days, and if it rolls a higher number, higher than a certain number, then you guys get an encounter, and that rolled higher than the number. So nothing to be worried about yet.
It's just an encounter.
So far.
It's just a dragon.
No, let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how we do this, and that's
Rojan,
that's
it's
part
an
of the reason.
undead dragon. Fuck, man. Come on.
Okay, so I need a percentile dice. Is that right now? How do we do this as rules is written? So it says wilderness encounters. Typical for that. Okay, so this is, you guys are right there. Okay, so we roll a percentile dice. I'm curious because these only go up so high. So what happens if you roll like a 69, which is
Hey.
Lewd and too high.
Well,
what does it go up to, Imp?
57, it looks like. Separate columns you choose when determining encounters in different areas. Okay, we're doing that. Weird.
this
Okay.
will end in flames. Flames.
I guess I'm gonna assume that if we roll too high, that there's just no encounter. But that seems lame.
That seems logical.
I
mean,
wait, here we go.
Did you find it?
I found it. It's continued on the next page, so that makes more sense. There was 69. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Somebody determine this for me. Who haven't I
I'll do
had?
it.
Who haven't I had roll tonight?
Me.
All right. Roll me a d20.
Yeah, I like rolling the dice. It's fun. Whee!
Until it's not.
Hello?
Huzzah!
Okay. So you guys continue walking through the jungles, getting into Chult, and you're finally, it's about afternoon, and you come across a set of tents that have been pitched around a campfire. And Azaka pulls her mount off to the side and dismounts and waits for you all to approach.
No, we're approaching mounted.
Yeah, I assume.
Loud and proud and no subtlety. Right?
Does she have a look on her face that maybe we should be approaching on foot, or is she just waiting for us?
She's just waiting for you.
Okay.
And in the background, you can see a couple of lizard folk that are standing there with her.
Who are you?
She gets down and she says, "These are merchants. They work the outskirts of the jungles in case any adventurers have forgotten supplies. Their last-ditch effort, and looking around the camp since the last time I was here, it looks as though they've been prosperous." She says, "Please, if you've forgotten something, now is the time to acquire it."
I really want to steal all their stuff.
No, because you got in trouble for not stealing. Don't get in
I'm
more trouble for
having
actually
weird-
stealing.
I'm having weird brain problems tonight. I want to take so much stress out. on
Check
this
out
freaking
their
island.
eye shinies and take their things.
Yes, I do not like anything about this island or anywhere that lives here, so I'm kind of like full on death wishy. Can I ask them about my book?
Yeah, the one you got from Wakaga?
They're supposed to be. Wakaka tells me there's a picture of an amulet, round, dull, gold, silver kite shield on it. I want to show them this picture. Be like, you know where this is? And I'm holding the book like above my head.
Give me a second. Let me let the DM remember what that is dealing with real quick. I vaguely remember it, but I'm trying to make sure of what it is. Okay,
Are there merchants to get around?
they look at it and they chitter amongst themselves in a language that you don't recognize, and it's just made of lots of high squeaky sounds and slithering hisses that are drawn out and vary in tone and length. And eventually the red one, who seems to be, at least from what you can tell, the leader of the company, looks at you and he says, "We have seen emblem before. It has been some time. But we have seen it far to the west of here. Deep into the jungles past Camp Righteous, but before you make your ways to Camp Vengeance."
I want to flip them one gold coin and say thank you.
He says, "You are most welcome, but please, we cannot take your money for nothing. Please, here, take your pick of supplies."
Woohoo! What do I have to pick from?
So it's water skins, it's bedrolls, it's rations and cooking utensils. It's a lot of the stuff that, like, really you would provision yourself with. before embarking into a camp like this, or into the jungles.
I reckon that I know Lex have dungeoneering kit stuff, and most all of us, except for me, I have absolutely nothing. So I will take a bedroll.
He nods. He nods as you pick up a bedroll. He says that will be very useful in the nights to come.
And he nod at him and then jump back up on top of my Triceratops perch.
He looks around to the rest of you. He says, "Is there anything that we can supply for you, or maybe trade some gold pieces if you've brought too many of your own provisions?"
How
You guys are broke. You should totally sell your stuff.
I need my stuff. I think what Crest is probably doing is writing down as detailed of a description of the language they were speaking as he possibly can.
Okay.
Noticing what Crest is doing, I start repeating their language back to him.
Give me
That's actually useful.
Give me a performance roll.
Boop. Hey, wait a minute. I should do really fucking well on this. I'm a goddamn Kenku.
So you start, and you get a few sentences in, and he walks over, and he's like, "No, you're not holding your S's for long enough." And he kind of repeats the phrase that you attempted to say, but with some slight variation on the links of the hisses. He's like, "I am happy to ever answer questions about the ways in which we talk if you ever stop by again, sir." And he's more talking to Crest than he is to Fives.
You're welcome.
And Crest is just quietly nodding at the offer, like happy to oblige to it, as he writes down the kind of directions and tips that the lizard was giving to Fives when Fives was speaking incorrectly.
Okay. What are Javaria and Lexus doing this time?
I want to make sure we have adequate amount of rations for our visit. I know that we don't need to actually keep track of it, but I do want to actually take effort to make note. I am making sure we're stocked up on food for our trip.
Okay. So you take some rations, and how much are you taking? Like for what length of time do you want this to be good for? Like enough rations for a week, a month?
I'm gonna take enough for a week. I don't plan on being out here too long, and if we are, I'm pretty sure our guide can show us what is safe to kill and cook.
Okay. So he looks at you with the rations, and he says, "That will be 6 gold and 50 silver."
Okay.
He says, "Unless you have something of value to trade, I am happy to barter."
I have night vision, so I hand over my bullseye lantern.
He says, "Ah, yes, this is most useful out here in the jungles. Take those rations and hold one moment." Sorry, I had to cough.
Oh, okay. I thought we lost you.
No. I just didn't want to cough into the mic. And he turns around and he pulls out a bag and begins to lift coins out of the bag. And he says, "With the rations and this gold, it should even it out." And he's got 4 pieces of gold in his claw. And wrapped around one of the pieces of gold is a tiny dragon.
Like a living dragon?
Yeah.
Do not touch it, mine.
You can have it.
He says, "Oh, that comes with the gold piece. I think it's his hoard. he won't let it go.
That's all right. I will. I open up my coin pouch, and just like, here. You can have the rest.
And he like, so he grabs the gold coin that he was wrapped around and like lifts it to his mouth and bites down on it, and then like scampers down into your coin purse, and you can see him like curl up in the gold.
So I like close it, but just enough to leave like an air pocket at the top, and instead of putting it back on my hip, I'm going to put it on a top portion of my bag so as not to smother it.
He says, that dragon will never leave that gold piece. I think you have a friend for as long as you don't spend it. He has been with us for many weeks.
You just see her eyes absolutely light up with fascination. Because it's something she hasn't really seen in her travels, and she's making eyes over at Cress and it's like, look through that book when you have a chance later, see if that's something that What's-His-Face has documented or not. I'm not necessarily willing to part with it, but...
For the right price, you never know, you might be willing to part with it.
All right, what about Lexus? What is Lexus? Is he interested in trading at all, or...
Lexus has like the basic survival supplies. He's like not really getting down from the mount. He's just scanning over whatever they have outside of their tents, seeing if like anything out of the ordinary catches his eye or something that just like sparks like, hey, maybe we should need this.
Roll me a perception check.
I'm blind.
No, that wore off. You're fine. Yeah, so there is. So looking around the outside, you see a kind of a vat that a lot of their weapons are leaned up against, and all the weapons have this kind of unnatural sheen to them.
A vat, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how big of a vat are we talking?
That's probably the wrong word. A barrel.
We should buy what's in the barrel.
Yeah, I get off of the mountain. I try to get a closer inspection of whatever's in this barrel.
Okay. So you lift the lid on the barrel, and inside is this liquid that shimmers almost like oil. Except it's clear, but you like across the surface you still get that kind of rainbowy shimmer. And one of the lizard folk walks over to you and he says, "It's good for keeping blades intact, so they do not rust. Here out in the jungles of Ch'ot, the moisture can do bad things to metal."
So do travelers just pay you to dip their gear in this, or do they buy the entire barrel?
No, we would not. There is too much here. You would need a dragon's hoard to be able to afford this barrel. But we do charge we do offer services of tempering your weapons against the elements.
How much do you charge?
He says, for the small ones, the daggers, we charge 3 golds. For the large ones, swords, and the like, we charge 10. For the huge ones, the war hammers, we charge 20.
I'm kind of like peeking over. Do we need for armor? Noticing that you're covered in metal armor.
You just see like a curl happen at the edges of this lizard folk's mouth. He says, "Yes, you need for armors too. It's 20 for the armor you wear now."
I need 40 gold.
Oh.
Why do I have a feeling I'm getting played here?
He shrugs and he says, "You can take your chances with the elements if you like."
I've taken too many chances. so far, and everyone has gotten us burned.
Oh, you
Look over-
need for fire protection? We have that too.
No, it's just it's wordplay, meaning we've taken chances when we shouldn't have, and we have paid the price dearly.
Oh yes, but now you pay the price to not take the chances.
I look over at Fives. It's like, you have 40 gold, right?
Yeah, I have gold.
Can I
Lizard Man.
borrow it?
Hold on, Lex. Lizard Man, want to play a game?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Just a simple wager.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Name your terms, little birdman.
Roll dice. I win half price. You win full price.
Better wager. You win half price. I win twice price.
Okay.
I look at I look over at Javari and like shrug my shoulders, like giving her a look like, do we even have that much?
Well, even if we don't have double, then we just don't dip.
I don't think that's how it works.
We can take them.
My phone disagrees.
Hey, by the way, Impious.
Yeah, I know.
What are the rules with that thing? Just a curiosity.
Oh, the loaded dice?
Yeah.
I don't actually know that I have rules for them. But I think we can make this up on the spot. I think what we can do is, for loaded dice, a 5 and a 6 will count as or let's do a 4, 5, and a 6 will count as a 6.
Okay.
And a 1, 2, or 3 will count as a 1, 2, or 3. So what he says, the rules of the games that I know is that you roll two of your dice, and then whoever rolls highest takes the pot. I'm making up a game off the top of my head on the spot, so that's not very complicated.
No, we're totally playing craps. Okay. I agree. I take out my dice.
All right, go ahead and roll. Give me 2d6.
2d6. Roll 2 d6. Oh.
2d.
All right, so you got 6. And he picks up the dice, or actually, how protective is 5 of his dice? Like, would he let somebody else pick them up?
No.
Okay. All right, so he pulls out his own dice then, and he says, "Such bad luck. I'm sorry to see that." And he rolls. And he rolls an 8.
Bull.
He says, "So now, twice price."
Best 3 of 5.
Twice price. I give him 6 gold to get Cress's dagger dipped.
Okay, he'll take it, and he'll dip the whole thing, handle and all, and you can see that he's holding it kind of by the tips of his claws as to not to get his hand in whatever substance this is. But he dips the dagger into the barrel and pulls it out, and you can see this sheen and shimmer run across the blade and the handle before he hands it back to you.
So Cress has a shiny dagger.
Cress, that dagger, was it just a regular dagger?
It was, yeah.
Okay, it's a +1 dagger now.
Awesome.
Because it's basically been hardened magically. So it also counts as a magic weapon.
I'll take it.
And so the lizard person looks back at Fives. More? Or just
No, that didn't work good. There's nothing different, nothing special about that.
He shrugs. He says, "You say that when your weapons break in the rain."
I hold up my fists. Weapons don't break in rain.
Fair enough. And he puts the top back on the barrel.
It would be really great if our rogue would try to get some of that stuff.
I kind of shoot Fives a glance, seeing as how the walking thing of iron that I am can now not get the weapon and armor dipped because it's double price.
Oh, I shrug.
Azaka remounts up and she says, if you are done bartering and prepping, shall we go?
I'm already on top of my Triceratops at this point.
Crest and Javaria, what are you guys doing?
I think it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I think so.
Because of Fives' mouth.
And while we're going, I want to study the dagger, see if I can kind of learn anything about the substance that was used on it.
Okay. I'm gonna take a page out of Blades in the Dark book. Give me a clock somewhere on your character sheet or just in your notes somewhere or something. And let's call it an 8-segment clock. And you can spend the day studying it and fill in one of those segments.
Okay.
All right. And so you guys camp for the night, kind of just out, or just, sorry, I can't get that phrase out of my mouth. When you guys make camp, it's where the canopy has started to get so thick that you can't see the night sky through it any longer, and you're surrounded by these giant trees and roots that are running under and over the path that make it difficult and treacherous to navigate the area. But you guys do camp well. Azaka makes sure that you guys get a fire going, and she sets it up so that it won't spread, and you guys don't have any risk of catching the canopy or the underbrush on fire. And she helps you set up tents and shows you proper ways to set up netting so that the insects and the creatures in the jungle don't bother you as you sleep, and you guys get a full night's rest. The next morning, she's already up before anybody else awakens, even before Lexus, as she's kind of sitting back against one of the trees, and she's caught what looks like a couple of wild rabbits and has already begun cooking them up as you wake up.
Conies.
And she looks to you as each of you wake up, and she dishes out some of the wild rabbit for you to eat. She says, "Shall we continue on today? How fast would you like to go? Should we pace ourselves, or would you just prefer to push forward?"
Push forward. I vote push forward.
I was gonna say the same.
She says, "You think your lumbering beast can keep up if we push?" I have to get back to her voice. I forgot what it was.
I look at the area around us, and then over the Triceratops, and in my mind, I just see them either barreling down trees, like we're trying to go off road and everything, but we just end up getting lost, or they end up getting stuck in the mud somewhere, and we have to abandon them. Given the size of the beasts we are riding, I say it's probably better to go at a normal pace.
Also, as I think about the situation, I kind of look at Crest and Fives, and all I say, with trying to keep my voice down from Lex, is remember what happened to the horses. I think we need to take it slow.
Very dry swallow sound kind of irks out of my mouth. Shuddering a little bit. Start playing with that ring on my finger. And you will hear no more from Fives on the matter for the next half hour.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys are going to go at a normal pace again?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. let's see.
Has Lexus ever seen the ring on Five's finger before?
Probably. It's been there for a while. So essentially what we did with that is it was a flashback but to before the party met Lexus. So Fives has had that ring for as long as Lexus has known him, actually.
Has there ever been an explanation as to what that ring is, or how it has any sentimental value to him?
I don't know. That's something that we'll figure out in flashbacks. And
because
stuff.
I was gonna have Lexus begin asking Fives about the ring.
I think if he's playing with it and it's prominent, that it might be worth asking about. It's just kind of up to you on how you want to do it. But yeah, he's had the ring as long as Lexus has known him. So.
Okay. Right now, I'm just going to make a mental note to talk to Fives about the ring when we're not moving.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So, about mid-afternoon... What the fuck is that? Sorry. I got an encounter. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I need to find that out before I start talking.
The Tuesday crew would be so happy to see these low D100 numbers right now.
What is that? I even lost the name.
Kill him. You're killing me, Smalls.
What did I...
I think at this point the Tuesday crew would be yelling at Groudon for rolling those low numbers.
It's like, let me consult the book.
Yeah. And I looked at the wrong thing. So you're encountering something else. Actually, yeah, let's do that instead. It's just not in this book. It's in the other book. Let me see if I have them. Sorry, so you guys watching at home going, oh, this is fucking sloppy. Well, it's the first time that we're actually using... They're just now getting out into the jungles of Chult. And so we're doing random encounters for once they get out into the jungles. So I have, in theory, tokens... because Roll20 gives you all of this stuff when you kind of buy it through them. The problem is I don't actually know where the fuck any of it is, and none of these tokens are in alphabetical order or any kind of order that would make sense. So
Oh, it is literally a hodgepodge.
it's literally me going, all right, where the fuck is this thing at?
Like finding Lego pieces.
It is. It's kind of like finding Lego pieces. Oh, there's one. Perfect. And I need that. We need to do 1d6 plus 3.
The baby dragon.
4.
I'm
Okay.
feeding the baby dragon.
So we're gonna do it on this map, and we're gonna get everybody. I need to grab characters because I deleted them earlier. Did not mean to, but that's fine.
No, we have been deleted.
Dun,
Reboot. You guys are not on this page, so that would be helpful for you. And then we do X. Yeah, we do creatures and monsters. And how many did I say it was? It was 4. Okay. All right. Let's drop your tokens down to a reasonable size. So as you guys are, it's about midday. You've probably just packed up from your lunch, and you have headed back into the forests of Chult. And Avaga stops. Azaka, there we go. Kind of stops and holds up the her fist, which is she's kind of taught you guys as you've been traveling, is the sign for her to say stop. And everybody give me a perception check.
Oh, yeah.
Boop. Yeah.
Crest has his nose buried in a book and doesn't see shit.
Always.
Have you guys upped your HP? It should be at max by now, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. I don't know why Lexus's wasn't reflecting that. There
Because I didn't up it.
There we go. I fix.
It's not my fault. It's your fault. Okay. So Crest has his nose in whatever book he's studying, and doesn't see the hand symbol to stop. But just ahead of you, 4 of these creatures go running by, and they are these large bird-like creatures that have a beak that arcs back and forward in the shape of an axe.
An axe beak.
Yeah. Everybody roll me your stealth real quick.
Oh yeah, baby. You want me to roll my stealth?
Demon dodo birds! Yay!
Eat it.
I only needed one of you not to, so it's fine.
Use my roll.
So as they're rushing by, one of them stops just right ahead of you and turns and looks at Lexus as the glint off of his metal, off of his armor, catches this thing's eye. And it makes this loud squawking sound as it like leans its head down and begins to barrel forward, charging at Lexus and his mount. Everybody go ahead and give me initiative.
Can we catch it?
I mean, you have the capability.
Like,
is it possible?
Well,
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
Can you do it successfully is a different question.
Right. I mean, I was when I say can we catch it, I mean, did what's his face give us
A list of what he had. Yes.
yeah, a list or a cage or something, or he's just like, yo, bring me something, and I'm like,
Yeah, he just said, bring me something. You guys didn't provision a cage or anything for yourselves, so.
I have rope. It's fine.
Right, and I guess this will be the one that saw Lexus, and I'm gonna put you in some sort of formation in my head.
Demon dodo bird.
To represent where you're sitting on your dinosaurs. And which one is this one? Perfect. I need to open up a character sheet for next week. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so this thing barrels down and is charging towards Lexus and just crashes into the dinosaur, the mount that Lexus is riding, trying to basically knock Lexus off and get at whatever this glint of metal is that has attracted this thing.
Shinies!
I don't think a 17 hits it. Yep, it's right under. All right, so this axe beak goes crashing into the dinosaur, but Lexus is able to hold on to the mount and to the reins and not slip and fall off. And then it's Crest's turn, who is now just jostled as the dinosaur takes a hit from this axe beak.
Wakey, wakey.
And very unhappy because he almost dropped his book. Dropped the book in the gross jungle muck. So he's actually going to just kind of reach his hand out using Lex's shoulder to kind of stabilize his arm, pointing at the one that just charged us, and just...
Damn.
That will not hit.
That will not.
What type of effect were you going for there?
That was going to be poison damage.
Okay. Yeah, so that just... the poison orb splashes at the ground, and you can see that the poison from it seeping into the ground, but there's no actual effect on the bird at all. All right, Lexus.
All right. Keeping one hand on the reins, I'm going to try to smack it with my warhammer.
Okay. So
Like
what
croquet.
one-handed attack?
Or polo.
That'll hit. And 5. So the warhammer connects, and this thing like lets out a squawk, and you can hear something else in the underbrush beginning to rustle around, and it sounds like even maybe respond to the cries of this creature. Javaria, what are you up to?
Oh, my lands. Okay.
So, our
You guys-
PhDs are still now,
So,
yes.
so if I can do fog of war, this is about what you guys can see so far inside those red
Okay.
lines. The rest of it is underbrush and trees.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. So, I am gonna... Should be far enough away. Take my sling, and I'm gonna pelt this turkey.
Okay, and that probably is about right at 30 feet, so you're within good range.
Okay.
Since this map is not going to be to scale, I just kind of scaled your tokens. up so
Oh,
you
God,
can see
that
it.
one scared me.
That'll hit.
I'm sorry, there's a little pedal. I'm sorry. That was scary.
That's some butt puckering dice roll right there.
All right.
Just nails 5s to the back of the head with a rock.
So you send a rock flying, and it catches this thing, and it even like catches the underside of this beak, and you can see a chunk of the beak go flying off into the underbrush, and another loud squall come from this thing's mouth. 5s.
Can I do something weird that is not an attack or a move without sacrificing an attack or a move?
No. I mean, so anything that you do is either going to be an action, or it's going to be a movement.
Okay.
So on your turn, you have a movement of 30 feet, which you can take and divide if you want, or you just take all in one bulk, and you have an action.
But what if I want to try to scare it off?
Then that's an action.
Damn it. Hey, man, I'm trying to save you, cat. All right. Get that fucking squirt bottle, that ring of squirt bottling. In that case, I'm just going to leap from my Triceratops frill perch over to Lexus's Triceratops frill perch so that I'm in range to hit the thing.
Okay. So that's your movement.
Yeah.
Give me let's call it an acrobatics check.
What was that? That's kind of a short. That's kind of a short distance.
Oh no!
But I think I can do good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Right. You know.
So you leap and even give him a little like arm flap as you then land directly in front of Lexus on the crown of his or the crest of his Triceratops. You're kind of beak to beak with this thing now.
In that case, I'm going to let out a very loud scraw and punch it as hard as I can.
Okay.
Right in the face. Oh.
That will hit.
Oh.
Get fucked.
Oh.
All right, and you can hear this thing. You can see the head rock from this punch, and it lets out another squawk. But the squawk is definitely less enthusiastic as it was before. It's just a rawr.
It's like you just like knocked it stupid.
I'm gonna hit it again. It's still standing, right?
Barely, but yes, it is still standing.
Get echt.
Fuck you, bird. There can be only one.
Oh!
Damn it.
Get act.
So,
stupid ass bird.
Roll me damage.
Please don't punch the trike.
I'm gonna punch the trike
Oh, God.
with full fucking damage on the trike. And Crest's gonna fall, and his book's gonna get muddy, and everybody will rejoice, except for Crest.
So 5 swings this fist forward, and this axe beak is woozy and kind of bobbing around. And what ends up happening is 5 ends up catching the axe beak right, like between the knuckles, the blade of the beak going right between his knuckles, and causing just this huge gash to run back the length of his hand, almost as if he got hit in the hand with an axe. And so you're going to take 8 points of damage from that.
That is.
As you can feel things tear and bones crunch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And you will, until you heal that, you will take disadvantage on any second attacks that you take.
Second attacks.
Right, because you've got one hand that's fucked up now.
Gotcha.
So you just, if you take a second attack, you'll take disadvantage on it.
Ouch.
Jeez.
And then it is this one. Okay. So that final very woozy act that went out from this thing, or squall, a moment later is answered by a very loud squaw as something comes running out of the brush, directly kind of charging in on Crest, looking to put this beak kind of in his side.
Please no.
I think a 6. I think you're okay.
Yes, I am, thankfully.
All right. And then you hear the same sound echoed back, 3, 4, 5, as it begins to get closer to the caravan. And then one final call as something charges out of the underbrush on the other side of Crest.
Please no.
That one I think hits.
Yeah, it does.
You're gonna be fine. It's just a flesh wound. Look, man, I've got like one hand all mangled.
So Crest takes the blade of one of these beaks into his ribs, just kind of gashing back and tearing open the skin there.
The dodos from Ice Age.
I see. The melon.
Let's see. I need to check something. Okay, so yeah, these are definitely aggressive. Okay, so the axe beak that's in front of Fives smells the blood in the air from the gash in Fives' hand and like swings his head back around the other way, trying to just run his beak across Fives' chest. I think that hits.
Yes, it does. That hits.
All right, so take 3 more damage from that.
Boop, boop, boop.
As the beak just kind of barely rakes across your chest,
Tiny
enough to break the skin, but not really do a whole lot of damage. Crest.
So I think I'm going to kind of flip myself around so my back is up against Lex's back.
In my head, that's how you were always writing. Okay.
Well, then that's exactly how I was the entire time.
Okay.
Wait, he was using me as a recliner?
Yeah, pretty much.
I am now.
Just because I was like, that's how he has room to work on his book, is if his back is to Lex and he's got his lap open. So that's just in my head. That's how he was writing.
It was a relaxing position.
Yes, that's how it's happening now. So I think I'm going to. God, I'm surrounded by birds. Probably the one right here is the one I'm going to target.
Okay.
Since it struck first, and we're going to try the old orb again.
That'll miss.
Damn, dude.
The dice, they just...
They don't like us.
Look at all the pluses to that roll as well.
At least they don't pull you into a false sense of security like the dice do to me, dude.
So Crest is so thrown off not having a moment to prep himself for this encounter as it jumped out of the woods suddenly at him that he's just not very good with his spells at the moment, being caught off guard. And so he goes to cast them and they're just kind of fizzling.
So just so chat knows how much the dice hate me right now, those rolls are with a +6.
They are.
Oh my lord.
Jesus.
All right, Lexus. So
All right.
You've got a Crest to the left of you and a Fives to the right.
If I was to get off of like out of like my side of like my part of the saddle, would that like maybe cause Crest to fall, or is there like an actual part of the saddle like between us?
No, I think there's probably part of the saddle between you. In my head, like you guys are sitting, there's a saddle and it's actually kind of got a back to it because you're up on this big Triceratops.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of share the back.
Custom made saddles.
Okay. Because in that case, since he's already taking one, Fives has the axe beak in front of him. I'm gonna like get off and like position myself here and engage the other one, trying to like take at least some attention off of Crest.
Okay. Because of the way you're set up, I don't think that gives anything an attack of opportunity on you. So I think you're
Okay.
good.
All right.
It just took me a second to think through that, whether or not that was viable.
And then just basic brace with my shield and a sideways swing with the warhammer towards the axe beak.
Okay. That will miss. So Lexus kind of got his shield up a little too high, having seen the damage that this thing is capable of doing to bare flesh on Fives' hand, and unfortunately, just because the shield is up so high, he's not able to get a good swing, and this thing easily kind of ducks and dodges out of the way. Javaria.
So, I don't have a great handle animal ability, but I'm willing to try it anyway. It's right in front of me. I would like to charge my trike forward and trample this thing, or at least do something akin to that.
All right, go ahead and let's do your animal handling first, and then we'll deal with the fallout afterwards.
Okay.
The very good choice of words.
I like that. Fallout, yeah.
All right, so you attempt to drive this thing forward, but because it's a Triceratops, this thing is not in any hurry to gain any kind of momentum or speed. So it just kind of lumbers forward, kind of rocking back and forth in a very slow pace. But you do get up to the axe beak, and the Triceratops just kind of huffs and sends out like plumes of breath at this axe beak, and the axe beak just kind of gives it this side eye.
Side eye. That bird does not give a single fuck.
It's about to.
All right, Fives.
I'm gonna hit the bird in front of me.
All right.
Because fuck that dude. He's a dick.
That'll hit.
And I'm gonna kill it.
And the head rocks back from the blow, and the whole body just kind of wobbles for a moment on its feet before it just kind of collapses into a pile on the jungle floor.
I'm gonna yell out a victory speech. Can I mimic that sound of the Stegosaurus?
Give me a performance roll.
Remember, I get a +1 on this, or I get a
you get advantage
on this.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, you do a pretty good Stegosaurus roar.
You know, the one when I donkey punched it and it made that thing that you said kept resonating in my freaking skull. Does that scare or fuck up any of the other axe beaks?
That's what I'm figuring out right now.
Oh!
Not that one. Not that one either.
Get him out of the way, man.
That one will. Let's see. There were 3 that are still left. It'll be this one. So Javaria, you hear something behind you scamper back off into the jungles after that sound erupts from Five's throat.
I still get a bonus attack though, and I get to move.
Yeah. Well, I think
if I should fuck around with that.
Yeah, with your gimp hand, you really want to go after that?
Yeah, fuck it. I got a healer.
We got a healer. Let's do it.
I'm gonna go right there.
All right.
I got a heal bot.
No, fuck that noise. I ain't going over there. I'm going over here. I don't trust like Miss Daisy over there. I'm gonna get fucking trampled. You know what's gonna happen.
Ow.
Like y'all know what's gonna happen.
That's a very good move.
I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up Lex because he's the only one on the ground.
Okay.
And I feel bad that I fucked over his ability to get a nice shiny, wet shellacked hammer. And then to get a lizard to shellac his hammer for him. And I'm gonna attack. That is exactly where I was going, Mags. Attack that thing.
So you have disadvantage, but you still hit. So that 17 will do it. Go ahead and give me your damage roll. 3, 7. All right.
Fuck that bird. There can be only one. Damn it.
So all of a sudden, like Lexus has got his shield up, and he's kind of figured out that he needs to lower it and pull it to the side a little bit. And just as you do, you see this fist come like raging across your shoulder and just driving into the side of this axe beak. Having learned his lesson not to hit it straight on, he hits Fives hits it in the side of the head, and you can hear some bones kind of pop and crack as the Axebeak's head is just jerked to the side.
I wish they lost battle proficiency the more I fucking wreck these dudes in the head. Like, have you ever been haymaker in the side of the head?
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I didn't see straight for like 20 minutes.
They used to have rules for that, like unarmed combat rules in the older D&Ds.
I'm gonna move these to the side so they're not in everybody's way. There we go. That's probably a better representation of the area anyway. All right, so this one is the one in front of Mags, who just gave the side eye to the Triceratops, and it's gonna like basically do this little I'm a flightless bird, but I'm gonna try to jump and fly anyway, flutter with its wings as it attempts to bring its beak down into Javaria's shoulder. Does that hit?
What is it? Like
12.
Wait a minute, I gotta scroll up. Yeah, wait.
No, yours is a 13.
Ah!
You're good.
Oh. I saw what it did to its hand. I don't want that in my clavicle. Thank you.
We can delete this one because you buggered off. And all right, so this is the one with Crest and Lexus and Spooner, excuse me, Fives. Fuck, I don't know who to attack here. We'll do it this way. Okay, Fives. This thing's head is just kind of rocking, and it shakes it off, and then like lowers its head and begins to run directly at you, driving the blade of its beak towards your chest.
And it fucking fails. It was a stupid fucking bird. There could be only one.
You kind of turn and dodge out of the way as this beak just kind of rushes past you. All right, and then this is the dead one. We can delete that one. All right, Crest.
All right, well, since the dice hate me so much, let's just go ahead and do something that's going to hit regardless.
Magic missile?
And that's on the one down there.
Wait a minute, what?
Oh, Burning Hands. Okay. Touch attack. DC 15, so it's got a dexterity save. You say it's going to hit anyway, but...
Well, I mean, it would have done half damage if it didn't, so...
All right, so you turn and put your hands out. What does that look like for Crest?
So I kind of picture it as him just reaching out with his hand, and as he touches the target, it's like burning a piece of paper. The fire kind of spreads out from his hand and leaves like embers and cinders in its wake.
Okay. And you hear a loud squawk from this thing as it catches fire, and it begins to panic, and just kind of its movements become a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Spastic, as it's trying to like put this fire out. All right, Lexus.
All right, take 2 with this Warhammer attack.
You got this, boo.
About
no, I don't.
Motherfucker!
Don't worry, I can heal you.
Yes, yes, you can. No, don't think so hard, man.
Well,
flip a damn coin. Who's it gonna kill?
Right.
Me or Crest?
Oh god, I forgot Crest is on the other side too.
Go ahead and roll me damage. Was this one-handed or two-handed?
One-handed.
Okay. So you bring this Warhammer up over your shoulders and bring it down, trying to connect and drive this Axebeak's face into the ground. And you miss, and you pull up on the handle as to not to drive your Warhammer into the ground. But you can't slow down the swing quick enough, and you hear it connect with your shin as this loud clang echoes through the jungle as your Warhammer drives into your kneecap and shin.
Jesus.
Fuck, man, that's a sensitive spot, dude.
It is. That's why there was 5 damage there from that.
Jesus.
Javaria.
I am. It's right in my face. I'm gonna do a two-handed swing, kind of like baseball bat style, with my quarterstaff.
Oh god.
Oh god. Here it comes.
Crest.
Hey, where the hell is Ahsoka the entire time?
Casually watching.
She has gotten ahead of you guys and is like in her typical like speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. She's probably ahead of you, having a picnic.
This
All right. Here we go. Crest, I'm sorry. Oh,
That'll miss.
at least it wasn't a 1.
So the axe beak lets out a squawk as it like pulls its head back, and you the arc of your quarterstaff just kind of rises right in front of it. 5s.
I'm gonna beat up on that one in front of me.
Okay.
Mwah.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Boop.
Right. And so you've kind of at the side of this thing, and you're driving your fist into its body, and you can hear bone or the ribs under its skin begin to like give and crack a little bit with each blow. Do you want to do your second?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Right, and disadvantage on this one. So 23 still hits. Go ahead and roll me damage.
I'm gonna take a fucking trophy from their carcasses.
Is it doing that because of crit?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just the 8.
Just the 8.
Okay. Perfect. And this one, you hear the crack again as the ribs give way under your blows, and this thing falls crumpled again to the jungle floor.
Damn, like I really am the DPS this fucking party, aren't I? But I keep standing and fire.
I don't know. Crest did like half of one of these things' lives in one hit, so it's a good toss up.
But he missed multiple orbs.
And I think this thing's, speaking of which, this thing's not real happy about that, Crest.
I would imagine so.
You have its attention, and it's driving kind of the point of that beak, aiming right for your stomach and soft areas.
Your vittles.
I think it hits.
I also think it hits.
Not for a lot of damage, but it does hit. And so you've got this thing that the point of this beak is raked through your guts. Not deep, but it's definitely one of those things, had you not jumped back in time, that would have been much more painful.
Like Saving Private Ryan, entrails on the ground painful?
Very possibly.
Well, I think I have a response for that in the form of a chill touch.
Healing.
All right, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
I need healing.
6. All right, Genji. So you see the singed flesh of this thing begin to crystallize over as chill touch takes effect, and the eyes of this axe beak kind of register the pain, and another like painful squall just gets released from its throat. Alexis.
I find it interesting none of these animals try to run away.
All right.
I looked that up, and these creatures
are they too stupid?
Are super aggressive and stupid.
Okay, I was say, like,
all right.
Because I thought about that one with the first one, and I was like, nope, they're just really dumb and territorial. Okay.
Since I can't trust Turn Undead right now, I do have another channel divinity that I can use.
Not to mention they're not undead, right?
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Well, there's 2 of them that are dead.
But they're not the
kind of.
They're not the undead. All right, so I'm going to use my out of my clerical life talent tree. I've got channel divinity, preserve life.
Okay.
So I'm able to present my holy symbol, and I evoke holy energy that heals a number of HP of 5 times my cleric level. And I choose any creature within 30 feet of me and divide those hit points amongst them.
Okay.
So
you're healing everybody.
I'm healing everybody that needs to be healed.
Got like
so So I've got 15 HP right now that I can dish out. Fives, how much are you down?
I got 15 out of 26.
So he's down 9.
You're down 9. How
No,
about
he's down 11. Sorry.
He's down 11. How about Crest?
I'm down 9.
So that's a total of
much are you
20.
down?
I'm not healing. I'm not healing myself.
That doesn't count you as a creature in that thing too.
Oh, it does, but I'm not healing myself. I'm healing you guys.
Oh, wait,
He's
so
just
you're
not taking the
taking
healing.
your HP out and giving it to us.
No, he's just not being healed by the spell.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's choosing not to be healed by it.
Yeah. So I'm going to spread the love a little bit. I'm going to heal Fives for 8 and Crest for 7.
Let's see.
All right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And Javaria, what do you do? Or actually, what does Lexus's heal spell look like? What does it look like when that happens?
He pretty much just goes into a meditative stance and he grips the symbol of Lathander around his neck, and a slow burst of light just emanates from his body and washes over his allies. And when it does, it slowly starts like mending the wounds on their body.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Javaria, what are you up to now?
I guess once everybody is kind of taken care of, is there really, other than like meat? I guess there's no reason to, do anything with these birds.
The one in front of you is still alive.
Oh, well then.
I mean, you can ignore it if you'd like.
No,
I don't think it's going to ignore you, though.
No, I'd rather my eye shinies remain where they are.
Your eye shinies.
We're gonna try this one more time, double-handed.
Okay.
Rojan, you is a good healer. I like you.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Yeah, baby.
Two-handed.
So you hear this crack resonate through the forest as Javaria's quarterstaff connects with this Axebeak's head, and hard enough that the beak spins around, the neck spins around, and you can hear the cracking as the neck of this thing just breaks and it falls limp to the ground. All right. So as far as that goes,
Wait.
Yep.
I'm gonna rip a couple feathers off and keep them as a trophy.
Okay. Does Fives keep them anywhere specific?
Mm-hmm.
In his feathers, I mean.
Yep. I tag them on.
Okay.
Tag them onto mine.
Okay.
On my head. I'm gonna become like a fucking crazy ass king of feathers, man. It's gonna be great.
Cannibalizing feathers.
We'll come back to that. So about this
What do you mean
time,
we'll come back to that. No. Don't be cryptic.
no.
Fives contract one.
You. I promise you don't want me to reveal that right now, because you'd all die.
Okay.
But we will keep that phrase in mind. About that time,
Okay.
Azaka comes back her at a kind of prance on her raptor, and she sees the corpses of the Axebeak, and she nods and she says, "Good to know that you can handle yourselves. Scavenge what meat you would like, and let's go."
Gather all the meat.
Just hang them up by their legs and drape them over the thingies. No sense cutting into them just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
They'll keep
Dress them
them
and cook them later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Kind of reminds me like Argonians with all the feathers. poking
And
out.
then let's see. With that, I think that brings you guys to your second day, or the end of your second day out in Chult. And I need a d20. Let's see, who haven't I had one from tonight? Should be one person that hasn't done one.
Lex.
No, it's Fox. I rolled a D100.
Oh, that's right, you did. Okay, Fox.
HP Fox, roll me a d20.
You got this, dude. Come on.
Rolls a 4. Damn, I was close.
I apologize for nothing.
Nothing wrong. Nothing, I say. All right. Somebody roll me a d100.
Me.
No.
Is that good?
It's kind of boring, actually.
Boring
So-
is good. I like boring.
Squirrels.
So as you guys make camp for the evening, actually, let's do that instead. Yeah. Azaka is kind of nowhere really to be seen in the evening. She sits with you for dinner, but afterwards, as the sky darkens and the light through the canopy lessens, she is nowhere to be found that evening. Roll me perception checks, all of you. Okay. Throughout the night, you all sleep fairly well, other than a few times that that Fives and Javaria can recall being woken up by the sounds of large cats screeching and roaring in the area.
Cat things.
Yeah.
Knocking shit over, chewing on cables.
Yep, that kind of stuff. But I think that's a good spot for us to end it for this week. So, that being said, welcome to Chult. You're getting your first little taste of actually out into the jungles. But yeah, it's a good game. I'm glad to be back and DMing for you guys and getting on to this. Because I'm excited about the things to come. There's a lot of like sandbox stuff in Chult that's just going to be a lot of fun to get into. So I'm excited that we're back into this.
Me too. This is
That being said, I think we should probably wrap up for the evening, and we will be back next week. But before we do that, you folks that have watched at home, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We are going to kind of talk about, give ourselves little promos, and then we're going to go raid somebody because that's a lot of fun to do. So, Hybrid Magpie, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Hybrid Magpie. I am a creative caster here on Twitch. I do a lot of emotes, channel art, overlays, anything to decorate your channel with. We also play video games and just have all kinds of fun on my area. So.
All right. HB Fox, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am HB Fox, and I'm the manager behind the Hunter Wild. We have a community-oriented variety cast here on Twitch, where we do lots of big launch events and lots of giveaways and stuff. Not always by us. Our community themselves are often the ones giving stuff away. So that's pretty awesome. And we have I guess it's technically a launch event, but it's DLC, a DLC launch for the new Horizon Zero Dawn DLC here in a couple days. So keep an eye out for that.
All right. Rojan, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I'm Rojan Quest. I'm a variety broadcaster here on Twitch. Also one of the co-DMs here on Dungeons and Distractions. Over on my channel, you can find me normally playing a ton of RPGs, FPSs, the occasional fighting game. Just got done with a 24-hour stream for Extra Life, probably my 5th one this year. So that's the one thing about me is I'm insane and I do multiple 24-hour streams every year.
Yep, I'm too fucking old for that shit anymore.
Yeah.
No joke. Like I did not make it through our last one.
Dude, we're like the same age.
I'm still too fucking old for it. Spooner, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Spooner Sloth. I am a variety caster here on Twitch.tv, and I stream 5 days a week. And on day number 6, the Sundays, I'm here with you guys, being the king of feathers, the one and only bird, the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. And I'm playing a lot of Destiny 2 right now. That's pretty much all I'm going to be doing until Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yeah. I'm going to hold off on Horizon Zero Dawn just yet, because I want to visit that again over the holidays when I really want to get cozy. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing.
Right I'm Impius. I run Dungeons and Distractions here with the help of all of my cast members and co-DMs and community managers and everybody else that makes this channel and these shows possible. Thank you guys so much. We do currently have 3.5 shows a week. I'm going to say half because we have one that's usually just me that I never do, but it's scheduled. So Sunday nights is Blood Moon Adventures. This is our 5th edition Tomb of Annihilation game. Monday nights is supposed to be me doing office hours. That rarely happens, is why I said a half. Tuesday nights is Gibbering Mouthers, which is Rojan's 5th edition game where they do planar jumping insane shit. I don't know how else to describe that game.
Insanity is the way to explain it.
Wednesday nights is RPG Mixtape, where we pick a month, or we pick a game and we play it for a month with a guest star and we try to figure out if we like it or not. This month we're playing Mouse Guard, which I'm super excited about. We're playing with On the Forefront, or 4, and is a lot of fun so far. And we've just done character creation and I'm already want to get back to it. So I'm super excited for Wednesday. But thank you guys so much for watching us. We are going to go on a raid. This is something that we do to spread the community and the love around Twitch, just to show our support for other channels. And we're going to go raid Lorelana, who was on DM's table with me earlier today. If you guys are low in salt in your lives, this is kind of the place to go. I'm not going to lie. If your salt levels are low, that's the person to go watch for a little bit. So what I want you to do is open up her channel in another tab and pre-type out the message. I heard there were dragons in here. And when you see my name, say, we're here for the XP. I want you to light her chat up with support and love and salt. And we will see you guys next month. Thanks so much. Or excuse me, later on, not next month. Well, next month too. But anyway, we will see you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging out.